All right, ladies and germs, it's time for the late night boxing talks. Was goody Sophia out here in the building. Yeah, I mean, a couple of subjects that have grabbed my attention this week. Some I've already elaborated upon at the singular level, the individual level, and others that I would like to expand upon in the greater picture. Clout chasing. There's been a lot of talk about that ever since it was announced that Inui has achieved WBO super status, which I told people he would go after, that's really the virtue of the Paul Butler fight. It's to become a WBO super champion so you can do what Usyk did when he moved up and became Anthony's mandatory challenger, what Crawford did when he moved up and became Jeff's mandatory challenger, that upon a champion becoming an undisputed champion, the WBO, they can grant you WBO super status. And that's really what the virtue of the Paul Butler fight was, as one-sided as it was. What's goody, Base? What's goody, Fredo? What's goody, Country? What's goody, Michael? There's been a lot of talk about that because people are seeing basically what I've been telling them, that, look, man, I tried to give I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt, Stephen Fulton. But to me, that fight isn't going to happen. And that brought to light something that I like to talk about here on the channel, what I call promotion by way of name association, what others call clout chasing. That Danny Garcia admitted to making up an entire story in order to stay relevant using the name of Manny Pacquiao and Bob Arum. In a lot of ways, it feels like that's what Stephen Fulton was doing with the name of Naoya Inoue, because he was buzzing and still is buzzing. And how, the guys on the other side like to say that, oh, Bob Arum doesn't know how to promote fighters, or Eddie Hearn doesn't know how to promote fighters. And yet the PBC guys are clout chasing those fighters. That's essentially what they're doing, because you're using those fighters' names with no intention of fighting them. If it were a bona fide call out to where you're calling the fighter out for a fight, and what you're looking for is a fight, well, that's not clout chasing. That's just an occupational hazard. But when you do it, knowing that you're not going to fight the person, you're not going to go to Japan, you're not going to go over to Top Rank if they tried to do it here in America, you're not going to do anything really to make the fight a reality, you're just going to talk about the person, well, that's become a prevalent subject, and it's becoming more and more prevalent and more obvious as people like myself, content creators, and boxing fans in general pointed out that, bruh, ain't no, if you see a guy, if it's a top ranked guy and a golden boy guy, maybe a fight could happen. Maybe it could. Or if it's a matchroom guy and a golden boy guy, maybe a fight could happen. Maybe it could. Even a matchroom guy and a top ranked guy, maybe a fight can happen. Maybe it can. You can mix and match those outfits. Matchroom, for example, sent Felix Cash over to BT Sport, to Queensbury, to fight Denzel Bentley. Those are promotional rivals, network rivals, but the fight still happened. More recently, they sent John Ryder over there for the Zach Parker fight. You didn't have to do that. They could have found him a lighter touch on the matchroom side of things, but they decided, no, you want to go over there, you want to fight that fight? Go fight that fight. And they did that. And that wasn't necessary, They didn't have to do that. And you look at Alicia Baumgartner, the people at Top Rank and Boxer, they made the offer for her to come over and have the fight with Michaela, and she did that. Matchroom didn't get in the way. In other words, even amongst promotional and platform rivals, you see that there's still more willingness to work around certain obstacles for certain fights with certain promotional outfits, that even though Matchroom and Boxer are rivals, we still got Mayer versus Baumgartner. Even though Matchroom and Queensbury are rivals, we still got Cash versus Bentley. We still got Ryder versus Parker. And you think about previous instances like Linares versus Loma. That was Golden Boy and Top Rank. That's what that was. That even though there are political boundary lines, and they do often affect what fights get made, there's still more willingness from those other outfits than what you see from one specific outfit, which is the PBC. And you can say that, oh, well, they did the Wilder versus Fury fight. Yeah, they did that, but there's not a lot of examples like that. And we're talking about the important fights, the big fights. A lot of times context gets removed. They'll bring up, oh, well, they sent John Molina for Crawford, or they sent Felix Diaz for Crawford. Yeah, that's not a good example. You didn't have nothing for those guys to do anyway. And those were not the fights that people were asking you for. A better example would have been if you sent Danny Garcia over there to fight Terrence Crawford, because Danny was saying a lot of stuff while Crawford was at 140. And, as soon as he moved up to 47, Danny stopped talking. As soon as he moved up to 47, you really can't make it up how shameless it is that while he was at 140, he had a lot of cool shit to say. But as soon as he moved up to 47, your daddy's on camera copping pleas. Why are you worried about PBC fighter? Why are you worried about PBC fighter? Go fight your mandatory. You can't make it up. You really can't. Shout out to Rider of the Storm. Shout out to Bray. AJ was goody. Deadly was goody. And yeah, happy holidays to everybody. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. It was goody hot boxing. And it's getting more obvious that there are certain fights that you can't get excited about. It don't matter what they saying on their social media. It don't matter what they tell an interviewer. Right now you got Jaron Boots Ennis. He talks about Crawford more than he talks about Spence, even though he's closer to Spence than he is to Crawford. And I'm like, I gave him the benefit of the doubt because he's really not a Heyman fighter, and he's really just a prospect turned contender. But it started getting noticeable that why do you spend so much time on Crawford when if what Cameron Duncan and Stefan Espinoza wanted for you was a Crawford fight, they would have made Crawford an offer. Did they make him an offer for that fight? No. Crawford out his own mouth said his name never came up. And yeah, I believe him. I believe him more than I believe a bunch of overzealous dick suckers on Twitter. Supporting the channel, that Haymanites Matrix meme of Fulton and Inouye in prison is pure gold. Yeah, man, it's like he's talking all this Crawford shit. And I'm like, bro, you couldn't fight on Black Prime if you wanted to. They could have made you the same offer they made Avanesian, and you wouldn't have took it, or Cameron Duncan wouldn't have took it. And it's insulting people's intelligence to pretend that, yeah, that was a viable fight. No, the fuck it's not. Crawford was just dealing with Showtime. They couldn't get the Spence fight done, but they're going to get this fight done? Did they even offer him you? Because they would have to. He's a Showtime fighter that fights on Showtime exclusively. So if Showtime wants that fight, they're the ones that have to pay for it. Did they offer to pay for it? Everybody knows the answer. And you got a lot of adults that are just playing these stupid fucking games that, you know better. Underneath it all, you know better. What you've got going on is recency bias. You watch Ennis, who's a talented young fighter, knock over a couple of stiffs, and you already think he's Sugar Ray Robinson based on that. Oh, he beats everything and everyone already. For beating up Dulorme, Lipinets, and Clayton, already. Yeah, fuck it. I got to be honest when I say that Virgil Ortiz has a better resume by far and wide. It's not even close. I have to be honest about that. And that's saying a lot because Virgil is a golden boy fighter. But somehow Eric Gomez, Roberto Diaz, and Oscar De La Hoya and Rick Merrigan have managed to get him a respectable resume for a prospect, even though he's not on the Heyman side of things. He fought Brad Solomon. He fought Javier Orozco. He fought Salcedo. He fought Vargas. He fought, who else he fought? Mighty Mo Hooker. He fought Egidijus Kavaliauskas. You know what I mean? He has a respectable resume for a fighter that is 19-0. 19-0 in a highly political division where a world champion is being frozen out, but they still managed to get him a respectable resume. And you don't hear me, for example, saying, yeah, Virgil is Thanos, man. He going to snap his fingers and everybody going to disappear. And he already has a better resume than Ennis. He already has that. They're doing the same thing with Frank Martin at lightweight. God bless him that he had a great performance against Michelle Rivera, but calm down because Michelle ain't beat nobody. It was a good battle of the unbeatens, which is that not passing of the torch, but that rite of passage, that unbeaten fighters should fight unbeaten fighters to separate themselves, to stand out from the pack. And he did that, and credit to him. But calm down. Shakur Stevenson is a champion, a 2-division champion. Devin Haney is an undisputed champion. Vasyl Lomachenko was a former unified Ring Magazine lineal 3-division champion. You don't get into that conversation just because you beat Michelle Rivera. I'm sorry. It's no. And I noticed that that's a problem with a lot of people. Bud should offer Boots a fight with 0 guarantee. Fuck it, right? That's what Errol did to him. Fuck it, right? He might as well. Might as well. Offer him a fight with no guarantee, because if it's okay for Errol to offer you a 3-division, 2-time lineal, 2-time Ring Magazine, former undisputed, current reigning, 3-division champion, if it's okay for them to offer you peanuts, it should be okay for you to offer Ennis peanuts. You ain't got no belt. You ain't never won a belt. You ain't beat nobody. I was Goody Mark. What it do? And yeah, yo, it's a lot of silliness I see. That it's like you talking about Crawford more than you talking about Spence, but you fighting in eliminators to fight Spence. You ain't fighting in WBO eliminators. And these motherfuckers hate when I bring that up. I brought it up on Twitter. I brought it up on Instagram. They're like, why y'all mixing and matching Crawford and Boots when Boots is not Crawford mandatory? Let's clear this shit up, all right? That's Errol's mandatory. And y'all been playing games. You ain't satisfied mandatory in 4 going on 5 years. This dude is fighting in eliminators to get at your red belt. He ain't after Crawford's brown belt. I don't care what he say in an interview, because you're not fighting in WBO eliminators. Every time I read about Jaron Boots Ennis, it's an IBF eliminator. Every time. So that tells me, oh, you either want Errol or you want Errol's belt. You might talk about Crawford, but actions speak louder than words. Have you ever heard that before? You talking about Crawford in interviews and all that cool sounding shit, but you're not getting in line for Crawford. You getting in line for Spence. And you fight on Showtime exclusively. You don't box on ESPN. You don't box on Black Prime. You don't box on DAZN. You don't box on Fight TV. You fight on Showtime. And you exclusive to Showtime. So why you pretending that you could go somewhere else and do something when we all know you can't? And moreover, even if you don't know no better, because you the fighter, you in the gym, you focused on fighting, you ain't focused on networks. Even if you don't know no better, the people on the outside know better. And they pretend that they don't, so they could bump their gums and talk a bunch of bullshit that they know better. You know he can't leave Showtime. If Showtime wanted Crawford versus Ennis, they put the money up. It really is that simple. If that's what you want, you got to bankroll the fight, because that's your fighter. Terrence can't bankroll it, because even if Black Prime offered him something, he can't fight off platform. He's exclusive to Showtime. So Showtime, if he's a network and promotional free agent, the onus to offer somebody something is on y'all to offer him something, not the other way around. It's too much stupid shit in boxing. It's too much fucking stupid shit. Silly shit. And it's adults doing that shit. It's not kids. It's not little kids. It's motherfuckers in their 30s and 40s playing dumb, acting like they don't understand this shit when they see it all the time. You see it all the time. You know how this works. If you exclusive to Showtime and he's a network and promotional free agent, after things fall apart, whatever, yo, you get him on the phone. Listen, yo, we got 3-4 M's for you to fight Jaron Boots Ennis on a pay-per-view. That's 3 to 4 M's guaranteed, plus an upside of the pay-per-view. You in? You know what I mean? You in? You trying to do that? LDBC says, de lo mío que lo que, manín. Assuming Virgil beats Stanionis and wins the Reggie, what do you think he does next? And do you think Errol goes to 154? I anticipate that we're already seeing the beginnings of that move. I anticipate that's why Sebastian Fundora is talking about a Spence fight. That's why they share a common opponent in Carlos Ocampo. That didn't happen by accident. I've said it before and I'll say it again. After what's supposed to be Errol versus Thurman, if that fight happens, I don't believe he's going to stay there. I don't believe he's going to stay at welterweight because I believe the IBF said Errol will have 120 days to fight Jaron Boots Ennis after the Thurman fight. I believe that Boozy, Ennis's dad, said that in a recent interview. So I don't believe that Ennis is going to stay there. At which point, if Errol moves up, the WBA Super goes vacant, or Virgil gets elevated. Then after that, what you could do is Terrence Crawford versus Virgil Ortiz for the WBO and WBA titles. Golden Boy has a broadcast partner. They got money. They need content. They need to be able to deliver big fights for their broadcast partner, the same as Matchroom. That's why Matchroom gets priority, because they're able to consistently deliver big fights to their broadcast partner. Golden Boy can do that if you tell Crawford, listen, Crawford, we'll work with you, bro. You know, we'll do this how you want to do it. If you want to enter into a multi-fight deal with us, we could do that. Or if you want to do this on a fight-by-fight basis, you know, we get you maybe Alexis Rocha as a title defense, or Blair Cobbs. That's an easy knockout. You know, we get you that guy, voluntary title defense, en route to a Virgil Ortiz fight. Do you want to do that? You know, you can play it a couple of ways, but there's an opportunity there for Golden Boy to deliver the zone a decent-sized fight, and they need to. Michael Buffer says, a lot of people talk bad about AJ these days. Is sad. Yeah, but it's people, the people you see talking bad about AJ, right? Check it. Who is it? Tyson Fury, Teddy Atlas, Joe Joyce, Bob Arum. The people you expect to say negative shit about that guy. In reality, as soon as he fight, all the shit they saying is going to get drowned out by the paying public, because no matter what the fuck you see on Twitter, no matter what the fuck you see on YouTube, when that kid fights, people show up. And that's why they keep talking about him. I don't care about what motherfuckers is saying. I don't care about who eye tests. I don't care about who evaluation. What I know is when that man fight, the world stops to watch. Win, lose, or draw. Whenever he fight, the world stop to watch. And that's why they talk about him. You talking about a dude ain't got no belts, coming off 2 L's. Why is y'all still talking about that man? Because of what I just said. When he fight, the world gonna stop to watch. When you fight a Chisora, right? That's cool that you did. I said that they're gonna do a good gate. I said that. It's on camera. I said they'll do a good gate, but on pay-per-view, they ain't selling that shit. People at home not trying to pay for that shit. Nah, you bugging. At the gate, because, you know, you get to go out. It's going to be girls there. It's going to be titties there. It's going to be ass thighs. It's going to be beer. It's a night out. Yeah, motherfuckers will go. Motherfuckers will go. You know, for Derek and Tyson. But at the box office, oh, nah. Motherfuckers not about to hand you no pay. Nah, they going to VPN that shit. They going to fire stick it, VPN it, crack stream it, but they not going to pay for it. They not. Fulton currently being held to task for 2 months of talking about what he'd do to Inoue can't justify moving up for an interim title belt. Bro, it's not just 2 months. It's a year. The video I just did where I was showing that shit, yo, he been talking about Inoue for a year, since 2021, since June of 2021. I told y'all, he got the ball rolling. He the one started talking about Inoue, so when push come to shove, I'm going to featherweight. I know. That's what I was expecting you to do. I know. And you're going to come out with some explanation that nobody give a fuck about, because you the one that got him thinking about some Fulton versus Inoue when you attach your name to his, so that you could give everybody a reheated, repeated, refurbished Figueroa fight. The only good thing about that fight is if Brandon's sisters show up. That's the only good thing about that fight. Jay says, what's even more sad, if Bud versus Ortiz happens and it's a unification, if Boots is elevated, he won't unify with the winner. Exactly. Because he's on a fucking island. He's on an island. He on the same side of the street as Spence. Same side of the street as Josecito Lopez. Same side of the street as Keith Thurman. Same side of the street as Danny Garcia. But he can't get a fight with none of them. Can't get a fight with none of them. So you just over there, bro. You over there. You know what I mean? You can say whoever name you want to say in interviews. You are exclusively contracted to Showtime. That's what matters. Not what you told Fight Hype. Not what you tell Ellie. Not what you tell Marcos. You contracted to Showtime, bro. You can't go nowhere. Shout out to the Hot Boxing Menace. Rivas is out. My guy Stephen Big Shot Shaw is up next against Ajagba. I'm going to tell you something, Hot Boxing. I don't think Rivas is injured. I love that fight. When they announced it, I love that fight. Rivas versus Ajagba, I was looking forward to that. And I thought to myself, yo, Rivas has not fought in a while. And the last time he did fight, it was at Bridger. If you fight Ajagba, that's at heavy. So you're going to be heavier than you were in the Rositsky fight. I felt Ajagba was going to knock his ass out. I ain't seen too much of Stephen Shaw. I got to look at him. I heard things. I ain't seen too much. But I felt, yeah, Ajagba was going, because Ajagba been fighting low key. He been fighting. You know, he rebounded off the loss, the boring ass Frankie Sanchez. And I love that fight. But if I'm being real, I don't think Rivas is injured, bro. I don't think that. It was a bad fight for him to take given the circumstances. I was surprised that he took it because he got a mandatory at Bridgerweight. He got a mandatory. You a champion down there, feel me? You not nobody at heavyweight. So why you gonna risk it all with Ajagba? Really? I love the fight, but I was like, yo, that's crazy. Like, he probably gonna get knocked out. Drew says, the Pollo Broths say we not giving the same energy to Ramirez like we are Fulton, not knowing I went in on Ramirez manager and had him stumbling with that BS Comey rematch. Yo, listen, I already laid into Ramirez earlier this week, so I don't know what the fuck they talking about. I said Ramirez don't want that fight. He don't want that fight. He telling himself, why am I going to fight this guy that hit hard for 35% when I could fight Teofimo, or I could see about getting the winner of Taylor versus Catterall? I said, I don't think Ramirez want that fight. I've been saying for 3-4 years, because they were supposed to fight in 2018. And I said it then. Ramirez don't want that fight. He don't want that fight. You don't want that fight. You didn't want it then. You don't really want it now. Not at 35. When you start talking about 50-50, when he's the champion and you the challenger, you don't want that fight, bro. Because that's crazy. You want half the pot for the work that he put in to get the belt. You want half. Nah, you don't want to fight, bro. You don't want to fight. But I don't pay attention to the chicken broth, bro, to be real with you. I don't be paying attention. Like, my mind has been preoccupied the last couple of days. My mind been preoccupied on other shit. I don't really pay attention to them guys, man. To be real with you. Motherfucker ain't got time to be worrying about the chicken broth. Let them stew the chicken and do what they doing with the chicken. Ho, ho, ho. Merry fucking Christmas. I forgot I got the hat. I got to put it down. There you go. There you go. Ho, ho, ho. Merry. There you go. There you go. Merry Christmas. Shit, right on my eyebrows like a Mason Bethel video. But, yeah, man. I think Ramirez doesn't want the fight bad enough. He doesn't want to be a champion bad enough. That's what I see. They adjusted the split for him. Initially, he was only going to get about 25%. They added 10%. The WBC added 10% to the split. and you know, that wasn't enough for him. He said the fight should be 50-50. He said he's willing to do it at 40, but the fight should be 50-50. And I'm like, how should it be 50-50 if he's the champion and you're the challenger? How? He made, what, over $1 million his last fight? How should it be 50-50? Ho, ho, ho. Merry boxing. You know what I mean? Posting a joint on Twitter. And yeah, man. Yeah, man. And I think that Regis is kind of fucking up, though. And I said this in the video I did. I feel like he's making a little bit of a mistake because I would give him 40 to 45% if I'm Regis. Why? I want to beat him up on ESPN, and I want to beat him up worse than Josh Taylor did. But I essentially, the goal is to fight on ESPN. And the goal is to get on ESPN because they have very good options for Regis. You know, it's not just about a Ramirez fight. It's about a Lopez fight. It's about getting the winner of Catterall versus Taylor for the WBO title. It's about that as well. And if you jump into bed with Bob and Top Rank and ESPN, that brown belt is within arm's reach. And that Sky Sports money is within arm's reach. They can pay you better than the PBC can. That brown belt right now at 140 is worth more money than that black and gold belt at the PBC, than that red and gold belt at the PBC. That brown belt can get you, 7-figure payday. It can if you're willing to travel. So if I were Regis, I would say, you know what, Jose, I really want to get this fight done, bro. So I'm going to give you 40%. If you're willing to fight me at 40, let's have a fight. Because I think he beats him. I think he beats him. Hot Boxing says, Jose Ramirez let me down. We cannot, as a boxing community, condone that kind of excuse he is making. He's ducking, bro. He's ducking. People, I hear different things in boxing when it comes to the duck word, but like I always simplify because it's not complicated. It's really not complicated. If you're circumventing fight A for fight B and fight B is easier than fight A, it's a duck. No, you don't deserve 50%. What are you, nuts? You're not the champion. That's the whole point of getting the belt. That's a part of it. You know what I mean? You don't know 50%. You're crazy. Now I'm going to open up the chat to the panel. And like I said, I don't want to hear 10 people talking at the same time. So y'all give each other a chance to talk. Because I don't want to hear 10 people talking at the same time. And yeah, yo. It's a duck to me. But I've been said Jose ducked him. I've been said that. Bigger duck, Fulton or Ramirez? Fulton. No, matter of fact, Ramirez. Because Ramirez was a 4-year duck. That was a 4-year duck with Ramirez. Ducking that man since 2018. So I would say Ramirez.
What's goody?
All right, what's going on?
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas. Yo,
Happy Hanukkah.
This dude Drew is going at it all day with what's his name? Ramirez's manager.
Oh, you talking about Rick Mir again?
Yeah, they were going at it all day. I was just watching. I was like, this guy had nothing to say at one point, man. They were just chatting.
Because you can't really defend. Listen, bro. 4 years ago, that fight got ordered, and y'all came to an agreement that we will revisit the fight when the fight is worth more money. It's 4 years later, bro. What's the problem now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, why should it take 4 years?
Drew.
Come on.
And like I told him, Jules, we got past the duck part. I'm like, okay, hey, Rick, like, you really care about fighter safety? You gonna put him in there with Comey, who was getting his ass? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, guys?
I can hear you.
I can
hear you.
I got you.
Okay, I was saying to him, like, look, you care about fighter safety. You really gonna put him in there with a dude that was punch drunk against a 135-pound Lomachenko? You call that a competitive fight? And he was like, oh, we need to get our money and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, Rick, Jules, he had the nerve to say, what we buy in tickets or we buy in subscriptions doesn't pay the fighter's salary. I'm like, Rick, you mean to tell me when Canelo sells?
Nobody.
I think Jules is in limbo.
Yeah, I don't think he can hear us. He can't hear us.
Yeah.
I can count the pixels on his face.
Okay, I can count them too.
By the way, anyway, Drew, I had you won that by UD 120-107. So
dog, he legit said that the A-side fighters don't get a cut of the fucking live gate. I'm like, bro, stop it, bro.
Yeah, that dude's tripping, man. He's like freebasing banana peels or something, man. I mean, damn.
But like, who do y'all think? Who's a bigger duck? I don't know if Jules answered that. Fulton or Ramirez?
I think Fulton is.
Yeah,
Fulton,
yes.
Fulton by far.
There's more
Fulton,
expectation
100%
on Fulton. All the bullshit that his fans are talking, all the bullshit he's talking. Now he wants to run. This dude,
because at least Ramirez isn't bringing up Prograis' name in interviews and shit like that.
I mean, I don't know if it's at this point in time anymore. I don't know even if it's the boxers or if it's just the promotion. If it's just Heyman, man. At this point,
it's Heyman. It's Heyman.
So
I mean, but it doesn't help when like the boxers get on board with this bullshit that he's talking about because, like, bro, it's like you said you'll knock out Inoue. You said you want him, and now like that he's on his way up there. Now we see this nervous energy from you. You know what I'm saying?
His nickname should now be called Fool Boy Stuff.
Hey, XMB 45 says Al Heyman got Jules.
Well, yeah, Wakanda ran into interference.
That was perfect. I'm gonna call who's Fool Boy. He ain't no cool boy. He Fool Boy now.
Full boy Stephanie.
Oh man, I love you for that. That's sick, bro.
At any point has a
Jules, you back? You hear us?
Yeah, this fucking Wi-Fi, man. What the fuck going on?
Wakanda got you, Jules.
We thought Al got you, bro.
Yeah, we thought Al Heyman got you.
Now, Drew, when I left off, you was telling me what you told Rick. Tell me what you told Rick, because I didn't see the conversation.
Because we was talking about, I was like, Rick, Comey is not a fair competitive fight. It's not even a 70-30 fight. He's a punch-drunk dude that Loma was knocking out. Knocking all around the ring. And he's like, well, we would like a competitive fight. I'm like, well, what about Sandor Martin? Got quiet. And then where it really ended, Jules, it was like, I'm like, Rick, I pay part of Jose and your salary with the tickets I buy, with the money I spend in boxing. He's like, no, you don't. I'm like, Rick, so you're saying someone like Canelo or Joshua, they don't get paid from the live gate if they're the main event? You're saying a main event fighter that sells 15,000 tickets don't get a piece of that pie? And then he just stopped responding.
I'll tell you what, bro, because this is the other thing. Those is both top-ranked fighters, right? So if you ain't gonna fight Regis, what's stopping you from fighting Lopez?
Or what's stopping you from fighting Lopez? What's stopping you from fighting Sandor? You got a working relationship with Top Rank?
Exactly.
You know what that reminds me of, Jules? It reminds me when Fury was talking about how difficult it was to make a contract with AJ, yet he went to Chisora, who's under the same management.
Exactly.
I didn't hear your answer, Jules. I didn't hear your answer, though, Jules. Is it Ramirez or Fulton the bigger duck?
Oh, I said Ramirez because that's a 4-year duck. That duck been going on since 2018 when the WBC first ordered the fight. That duck been going on.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I have a question. Was Ramirez ever tapped to compete at that WBSS tournament at 140?
Nope.
He'd have lost. No. He'd have lost if he went to the tournament. He'd have lost.
Yeah, he would have lost, bro. He would have got beat in that shit.
Yeah. So what's Ramirez's best win? The fucking Mo Hooker?
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly.
Mo Hooker.
It is.
Yeah,
Mo
Hooker.
It is.
And Zepeda.
I think so.
Too.
He barely beat Zepeda. He barely beat Zepeda.
I remember that a lot of people, they didn't think he beat Zepeda, bro.
I scored at the draw.
Yeah.
Mexico didn't think he beat Zepeda.
I'm going to say this. Look, I'm going to say this. I understand that there's a different dichotomy and association with that fight because Ramirez really is the ticket seller. And you are more or less relying on Ramirez to, finance the fight. It's his fans that's going to support it. If it's a big fight with anybody, it's with them. But when you get to asking for 50% of the pot, Nah, you bugging,
He's
Mike.
not even a champ.
There was if you go back on Twitter, his manager and Regis was going back and forth, and Regis's manager dead it. Like, look, he's like, Rick, you didn't even try to counter negotiate. You were just looking for a way out.
He's not even a champ.
Hey, Jules, this is a legitimate question. XMB 45 was saying that Ramirez got the vacant WBC belt, even though Regis was the interim champion already. He's asking what happened there.
Basically, when they ordered the fight, right? This is 4 years ago. They ordered a fight, and both Lou DiBella, who was managing, he was handling Regis at the time. Lou DiBella and Bob Arum came to terms that they're going to forego the fight and revisit the fight when it's worth more money. At which point, Regis Pregarius went into the World Boxing Super Series. He beats Kirill Rillick for the WBA. And he beat Kirill Rillick for the WBA.
Yes.
Him and Josh Taylor end up fighting. Josh Taylor wins the fight. But that's basically what happened. That fight was ordered 4 fucking years ago. And the Ramirez people didn't want to do it then.
Wow.
Jules, can I say something?
Mm-hmm.
Right, for me, the Ramirez fight is a bigger duck because it's a competitive fight, but what they're thinking is that Prograis, after the Taylor fight, hasn't had a big network. He's been on obscure little shows here, there, and ever, so he's not got a big following. Mm-hmm. So therefore, it's not big money. So they're thinking it's risk versus reward. Where the Fulton fight, for me, that's not a duck. Fulton's shitting himself because fucking they knew he will absolutely kill him.
No, I'll tell you what, bro. I'm gonna tell you what. It's still a duck because think about it. Okay, so you say I ain't gonna fight Regis because he ain't got a lot of fans. He don't bring a lot of money, and Comey does.
I agree. Yeah. I'm just comparing the two, Jules. I'm just comparing the two. What I'm saying is that Prograis, the last 2 years has fell off. He's been on fucking Fight TV. He's been on
Triller. He was on Triller.
Triller, yeah. So his profile has gone down. So they're thinking we can't get a massive fucking payday out of this fight. But Fulton's thinking, fucking Nui, he's gonna blast me out. So the Prograis one's a bigger duck.
I mean, to me, Ramirez is by far and wide the bigger duck because it's a 4-year duck. But they're in the same neighborhood because essentially the situation is an order comes down or an order is about to come down. With Fulton, I ain't gonna lie, it's annoying because you trying to like hoodwink everybody that you trying to get out of Dodge before the order comes down. You was talking. Think about it. He said that the Brandon Figueroa fight he already knew about it months ago. But months ago, who was you talking about? Who was he talking
about? He was doing that, talking that fly shit. He did exactly what Charlo did with Benavidez. He dropped the Nui's name first.
He did though.
He never should have been mentioning Nui's name. Period. Don't
start where you can't finish.
Yep.
What do you think his angle is then? What do you think that Ramirez is after now?
I'm gonna tell you what it was. Inouye was buzzing ever since the World Boxing Super Series. He was buzzing, right? That's really what it was. And he was buzzing. He was buzzing a year ago. Like it wasn't like Canelo buzzing, but people in America were talking about him. They're like, "Who's this guy? Why is he on a pound for pound?" What he did. Some people like him. Yada yada yada. So Fulton seen that. He starts to, if he come up here, I'm going to do this. And you ain't going to do shit, bro. You going to go up to featherweight. You ain't going to do shit.
You're going to do what I
called it, too. He's going to move up to featherweight.
He's going to draw a face on a coconut and he's going to start talking to himself like Tom Hanks did.
Exactly.
Bottom line, the only thing he's going to do is what Al tells him. That's it.
Exactly. But the reason and I've said this many times that I believe that they're coached and coaxed into doing this is Danny did that with Crawford before he moved up to 147. Wilder did that with Joshua famously, and people still don't realize. You don't get that this man highest purse at that time was like $1 million, and they offered him $6. His highest purse was like $1 million, $2 million. They offered him 12.
Well,
Jules, Danny, remember? Wait, Danny Garcia confirmed it when he said he lied about the Pacquiao story.
Because he's a fucking clout chaser, man.
And they're such idiots because they snitched themselves out. You know what I mean? Wilder and Danny. They snitched themselves out for being fools that they are.
You would think like if somebody writes something like that is like you realize what you're about to write is something like really fucking stupid.
He thought that shit must have sounded real fucking good in his head.
Yeah, right.
Fucking good in his head. Hey, I'm not a duck. I'm a liar. I'm not a duck.
Jules, he was sitting around with his boys showing them like, look, I'm gonna get that guy on YouTube. I got this guy. Fucking Dominican.
I'm not no motherfucking duck because I was never gonna fight Manny anyway. I made it all up.
He's lucky. He's lucky he didn't catch the episodes where you're clowning his clothing line.
He lucky he didn't hear that freestyle. Listen, I battle rap the shit out of Danny B. I made a whole freestyle about him. That shit old as shit. I uploaded it in I think it was 2017, 2018. I'll battle rap the shit out of it. You better leave me alone, bro.
What did he say, Jules? What did he say? Que sí.
Better stay imagine ugly ass suits, bro.
Can you imagine being arrogant and being a liar, being arrogant about being a liar? Honestly, arrogant.
Well, here's what you see. You guys don't understand something. You see, big fish, small pond situation right here. You know, clearly the rematch has more value than in a New Wave fight. You know, and more than an MJ fight. Even though you could have been an undisputed champion, like that's irrelevant because he's a big fish in a little pond.
Bro, it was already suspect. I'm gonna say that it was already suspect, and I was fair with this. You know, I was fair that I said, look, I don't see Fulton or Al Heyman making offers to MJ Akhmadaliev, though at the same time, I don't see Matchroom making offers to Fulton. But we're not stupid. Has Matchroom ever offered PBC fighters money to come over and fight before?
Yes.
Yeah.
Taking it?
They offered
No.
Tank and Tevin Farmer $10 million, didn't they?
And $8 million. $8 million. And it's like we post to act like, oh, everybody else on every other side of the street is wrong except Al's guys. Those guys is always in the right. You got to do all this shit to fight a Heyman fighter that can't sell out a high school auditorium.
The funny shit is that Ivo there? I'm waiting on that email, bro. But the funny shit is, Jules.
Yeah, we'll
I'm just busting it, bro. Jules, when they said, well, Fulton's not letting no other guy dictate his career. He's moving on. I'm like, bro, you know the modus operandi for PBC fighters is wait on Canelo, wait on AJ. They've been doing that for years.
Bro, how you gonna say that, oh, I ain't gonna let nobody dictate my career when you take your marching orders from your advisor?
Let me ask this in all seriousness. Let me ask you a quick question. So if you're Tank Davis or Tevin Farmer, you walk into Al's office or whomever the powers that be, and you say, I got an offer for $8 million. What are you going to do to sell the fighter the idea it's a bad to take an $8 million guarantee and move forward with me where I have no promises that I can give you? How do you sell that idea? And then what's worse than that is how do you then say, you know what, that sounds like a great idea. I'm going to reject a career high payday to follow you when you basically don't have anything to guarantee me. How do you sell that to a fighter?
Well, all right. One, if the fighter's already a bozo, a retard, which I'm sorry to say, yeah, that kid's slow. I'm not playing either. That kid is slow.
Which one?
I don't care. I don't care if he knocks out Ryan. What Ryan said is true. When you hear him talk, like, yo, what's wrong with you?
He agitates my soul. He sounds dumb as shit when he speaks. He's got that. He's got that stupid ass Baltimore shit going on where he sounds like he never got out of grade school. It pisses me off.
I'll tell you what it is. I'll tell you what it is.
You're talking to an 8th grader for real.
I'll tell you what it is, and not to be insensitive. I figured it out when I was at the dinner with all the boxing guys. It's Tio and Tank. They're dope fiend babies.
Ooh.
I mean, keep it. Jules. No, I know about Tio because his dad had drug cases.
I just want to understand how you
drew you in the subway or something.
But let me answer the question. Wait, let me answer the question. if you already talking to somebody, right? Remember that this is about 3 years ago. Tank was a younger man, and I will say this: for all the shit I give him, I think he's starting to wake up and realize a little bit more. Even though it's not going to help, but 3 years ago he was a younger, more impressionable fighter, and according to Tank, this is what he said. Al told him, "Oh, they're not serious. They just talking. They're not serious." Even though Danny Jacobs went over there and got some money. Andy Ruiz went over there and got some money. Mikey Garcia went over there and got some money. But you dumb enough to believe these guys. Because underneath it all, I don't think that the fighters then understood it as well as they understand it now. These guys want to keep you here because it benefits them and their broadcast partner. They don't want you to go over there, even if they have more money for you over there. They don't want you to go over there because then you become content for someone else.
It also goes back to what you're saying, Jules. They don't want them to go over there and actually see what it's like to get all your money up front within a day or two after you fight.
Bro, did you see what Broner said?
Exactly.
Bro, he said you get the money. Yeah, he said you get the money even months after the fight.
Broner confirmed what you've been, Jules. Broner confirmed what you've been saying for the last 2 years.
I was listening to somebody. I don't remember who it was, but I just clicked onto some random like stream today, and of course they were talking about Broner. So before Broner's the greatest guy in the world, he's part of the PBC, he's fantastic. They're saying every other word about him negatively now, throwing him on the bus. You went and you chased this money. Al's never going to take you back. He was taking care of you. He promised you that he was going to take care of you for the rest of your life. These dudes were simping for Al Heyman, basically throwing him under the bus, saying, you turn your back on the PBC, they're never going to accept you again. You're a sellout. You're all the words, blah, 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 blah. It just blew my mind that they were mad that a guy went out and got a $12 million guarantee payday in 3 fights. And they were slamming him because they were going against, of course, the PBC and Al Heyman.
Yeah.
Well,
fuck him.
Well, the main thing with that, bear in mind that they've never even heard Al Heyman's voice. That's how sick they are. You never even heard this man say PBC.
Dude, I don't know what
for you to go that hard for the PBC.
Fellas, the PBC, it's a cult nowadays. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is.
I will say this: having watched the Adrian Broner interview, I will say I've never seen that man so happy to have all his money up front in a fucking bank account.
Bro. Good for him.
You see, I haven't seen him that.
Yeah, he was happy.
I actually wanted to touch on that tonight. That look, y'all know that I'm not big on Broner, and there were a lot of things that he did that annoyed me. But on this endeavor, I actually want him to succeed. I want him to win. I want him to do good. And you know why? Because if he does, that will serve us as the example for the other fighters that, listen, y'all got to stop believing this Wizard of Oz shit with Al Heyman, bro. I don't know what the fuck y'all think he is. I don't know what spell he got y'all under.
Bro, and just on principle to piss people off, I'm gonna buy it and show the screenshot.
Why not?
Bro, he is a less charismatic Don King who doesn't do half as much entertainment as Don King. That's all he is.
Bro, he wishes he was a quarter as successful. Because Don, thief, murderer, or otherwise, that motherfucker knew how to promote. If he was a promoter. Why you think Broner said, well, first of all, they need to get a real promoter? Yeah, I know. That's what I've been saying, bro. These guys, that's not a real promotional outfit over there. That's a big part of the reason them fights don't sell. Bro, who's the promoter of the show? Is it Al or is it TGB? Or is it Samson Lukowitz? Or is it maybe who is it, bro? Who is it?
Steven Espinoza.
It depends. What day of the week is it?
Jules, I'll tell you what. The amount of shit we give Al Heyman, because he is an arsehole, let's be honest. We've got to give him props that he knows how to scoop up the most uneducated, half-decent boxers who are so fucking naive and believe every word he says.
Yep.
And he can milk them for all their fucking worth. He knows how to pick them and spot them. He can scoop them all up and they fucking believe his bullshit.
Well,
he's got
Mark, can I do you one better, Mark? So the PBC and the boxing stable is currently an example of why the education system needs a rehaul, personally. If you honestly believe that as a fighter, after getting allegedly a 6-figure purse, afterwards you get it at intervals of $1,000 a month, that look, statistics I get it. Mediocrity is mediocrity, but you are beneath that statistic, dude.
Yeah.
Honestly, like Broner, And I already know that, look, a lot of guys that are listening to that, they don't hear what he's saying, that, wait a minute, I could get 40% of my money as soon as Monday? You know what that tells me? You weren't getting that amount in a month or months or a year. That this whole time, they've been making you wait for money that you already worked for. That's what I've been saying. Allowances.
I mean, Jules, I was with there. I was right there with you too. I mean, I was thinking like Black Prime had made a mistake by signing Broner, but like, you know what? His attitude and just how he's been acting in recent videos, I want him to do good, because maybe now this will motivate him to actually go forward and put towards good performances, and maybe get back into like title contention. One second, I'm almost done. I mean, maybe this will motivate him to like fight going forward and get back into title contention. And I want him to succeed. I do. You're right.
You know what the other thing is? I'll say this, Jay. Do I think that he can win a title from Regis? Absolutely
no.
not.
No.
That's not necessarily what I want. I want him to go in there with Red Catch and outclass him. That's what I want. And if he could get back on his shit, I think he could do that. And if he could do that and get money and actually fight 3 times, or even just 2, it doesn't have to be 3. It could be 2. But if he fight 2 times and he get money and he start looking sharp, that'll wake everybody like, yo, why y'all believe this Al Heyman person?
Yes, the PBC people will go like, yo, we got to get the fuck up out of here. Like,
hey, Jules, you called it right down the line. I believe what you said, that they were on allowances all along.
Yeah, like he said it right then. That he said, oh, I could get 40% of my pay-per-view on Monday, not a week, not a month, not a year, not after the numbers. Yo, he said it all without saying it outright. They're like, they got those guys over there waiting for their own money. Who mic is that with all that noise?
Jesus.
Somebody's in the cafeteria.
Not me.
Yeah. Is it my mic? I'm at the gym.
Yeah, who's over?
Somebody's got music in the background.
Probably you, Drew. Might be you, Drew.
Who's the one that's working at the back of an Applebee's right now?
Jules,
I'm working with your mother.
Jules, what I hate is the double standards. Yeah, Al Heyman, for some reason, I know he gets shit on YouTube from YouTube channels and whatnot, and a little bit of stick on Twitter, right, for paying these fighters in increments, and some of them are broke and they fucking can't cash a check and this, that, and the other. Can you imagine if any mid-range, not your Anthony Joshua's or whatever, but your mid-range fucking Eddie Hearn players were getting paid in increments, and it got leaked to the press that he's only got half his purse and he's going to get paid the rest over the next fucking year and a half. He'd get fucking slaughtered, man. Slaughtered.
They cook him for that. If the same things that have been going on at the PBC were happening with Eddie or with Bob, they would crucify them, bro. Crucify them.
So why did you get passed?
I said it then. Sean Porter got his highest purse, not from Al Heyman. He got his highest purse from Bob Arum.
Boom.
Yep.
And he ain't have to wait a year and a day and a month no. Here's your money. You what? Here
One lump sum.
Wasn't the champion either. How about that? Wasn't the champion either.
Wasn't a champion. I said he got more money as a challenger opposite Terrence Crawford than he got as a champion opposite Errol Spence. So is Errol, and the videos is up, I don't lie, said, is Errol really a cash cow when you can get more money fighting Bud on ESPN than you could get fighting Errol on Fox? Is he really a cash cow? I don't think so.
You forgot about the mysterious back end money though, the riches, the millions.
Listen, the only back end money with Al Heyman is when he bounced a quarter off your ass after he put baby oil on. Weird fucking guy.
By the way, Jules, that's a good question.
Weird fucking guy.
That's a good question for you. I'd like to know that too.
What? Is AB a Hall of Famer? Honestly, based on the resume he has, the strongest argument that he has is that he is a 4-division champion. But that may not be enough. It might, I'm not saying that he ain't or he is. I'm saying that they're gonna look at that class of guys that get brought up, and if it's if it's Golovkin, Broner, I don't know, bro.
Nice. I meant the one by Low, the one right there. Who's your fighter of the year?
Oh, my fighter of the year is Bivol.
Bivol.
I'm gonna do the. Oh, let me say this. Let me say this. I'm not gonna give out the awards yet. I do this annually. It started in 2020. I always do it the last week of December. The Ring IQ year-end awards. They will be back. I will do a show. I already know who I'm gonna pick for every category. I always go down. Shout out to Women's Fight News because theirs was dope too. They did their own this year. I love it,
man. Shout out to the ladies.
Shout out to the glorious Ronnie Shields. You always make fighters so much better.
Yeah, Ronnie Shields. Shout out to Ronnie Shields. But my fighter of the year is Bivol by far and wide. He beat the pound for pound #1 guy, and he moved on. You know, it was because of. I'll elaborate on that one. Just that one. The reason he's fighter of the year is because he outclassed the #1 pound for pound fighter in the sport. And he removed all doubts that, it's just because you're bigger. When he took on a bigger guy than he is.
Outclassed his ass too.
Rehydrates to like 200 pounds and outclass him. My fighter.
Now I got a question for you, Jules. Is Ben Davison your trainer of the year?
Oh my God!
Easily, bro.
Don't say easily. Ronnie Shields did have a good.
I would say trainer of the decade, to be honest with you.
Century.
Guys, he trained Fury, so you know.
For like 2 fights, bro.
Jules, I got a question for you. What's going to happen? What's going to happen first? We get pay-per-view numbers from BT Sports for the last 5 pay-per-views, or we hear Al Heyman speak in public?
I'll tell you the truth, bro. I don't think BT are ever going to release those numbers because they just don't. They never do. Like Sky, they'll wait and then release the numbers. Like the numbers for Joshua versus Usyk 1 and 2. Each one of those pay-per-views was over 1 million. Each one. Like one was 1.2, one was 1.1. But BT, they never release numbers, bro. Ever. Nope. So, and that's how I know that, listen, if the pay-per-view with White did as good as Frank says it did, we would have seen some numbers, bro. We ain't seen no numbers, bro. That's all I'm saying.
I should have streamed that shit.
AJ,
I did.
He would have been sharing that from the rooftops. If that did 1 million, Frank would have been fucking milking it all over YouTube.
Came out the next hour.
Look at these numbers. Look at these numbers.
I'll be talking about it today if it did 1 million, bro.
He talks fucking bullshit. It was ass.
If he really had something to brag about, he'd be bragging about it. But you didn't break the record. The UK record for the most pay-per-views sold is Joshua versus Klitschko, and you didn't break that record. How do I know? I'll take you back. When that fight came on, it wasn't just the UK that watched that fight. America watched that fight. They brought in better numbers in the middle of the afternoon with that fight than most of their primetime fights. The majority of their primetime fights. HBO gave them 1 million to show it, and Showtime gave them 1 million to show it. One was the replay, one was the live feed. And they both paid $1 million a piece to show that fight. One was close to 1 million, 800,000 views. Another was 600,000 views on 2 premium cable American networks. RTL in Germany, 10 million fucking viewers in Germany.
Jules, I don't know about the American and the worldwide rights, but obviously I've got a few sources in the UK, and from what I've heard, Fury versus Chisora didn't crack 300K.
I could believe that.
Oh, of course.
I could believe that.
I could believe that.
I'm pissed to probably crack 200K, honestly, because that fight should
have No, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't there a current situation in the UK with the light bill, the electricity bill? Isn't something going on with that?
Yeah. We've got a massive problem with our electricity and our gas has gone up so much that everybody's hurting badly. So everybody's pinching their pennies. Nobody's spending fuck all.
So I thought about that because I heard about that's going on, and it's really fucking cold, right? And 2, it's Christmas, bro. It's fucking. This is 3 weeks before Christmas. Motherfuckers, Christmas presents, not Fury versus Chisora.
Jules, and plus we've got a fucking rail strike. You can't get on a train.
Oh, you do got a rail strike.
We got postal strike. You can't send your mail. We got a teacher strike. The fucking schools are closed. We got a fucking nurses strike. If you get sick, there's no nurses for you to go to the hospital. And that's all over the last 2-3 weeks, going all over Christmas. This country's fucked. And that is why I'm fucking off in 6 days.
No, Mark, to counter that, I heard Beats say that, that we have to have our wages tied to inflation in order to catch up to these,
but you can't, mate, because you've got the nurses asking for they want 5% over inflation. The government can't pay that because inflation's too high. It'll bankrupt the country. They're asking for fucking insane wages. It's just crazy.
But there's only one way to pay it off.
No, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm gonna tell you the truth. The real way that you're supposed to remedy that, right? The real way you're supposed to remedy that is prices are supposed to come down. But the reason they don't is because that's going to affect the people that have money. This is all about them being able to continue to make a profit off of us. In reality, if the common man can't afford to buy shit, you need to make this shit more affordable because you're not making money from products he's not buying. You see what I mean? He can't afford to buy any of your goods. Bring the prices down. Otherwise, we're all fucked. We're all fucked.
It's corporate greed gone amok.
Let me finish this point, right? I mean, you don't know how serious it is in the UK, right? At this moment, forget the electricity, the gas prices, for your radiators to heat your house because it's fucking freezing in the UK at the moment, have gone up 45%. And you've got pensioners, people who are retired in their 60s and 70s, who pay taxes all their life, who cannot afford to heat the houses. They're sitting in the houses, cold, wearing fucking 7 layers of clothing, like it's the fucking 1940s, and they're in the Blitz. It's fucking disgusting. It's a disgrace.
You know, it's all based on the Russian. That's what the war in Ukraine and Russia.
It is. It is.
Yep.
They tapped the gas. They tapped the gas off. Yeah, the cunts.
Now let me read the super chats. Edwin Castillo says, "Saludos, Julius. Arrow is a crash."
Nigga said a crash. Wow.
A crash cow.
Damn.
Still living in Dubai, baby.
They gotta stop letting that man drive.
Jack said, fighter of the year can be Usyk, Inoue, Devin, Jermell, Bivol, or Bam. And I'll say this: it won't be Usyk for me because he only fought once this year. Inoue has a stronger argument than most because he fought 2 times against 2 champions and he was dominant in both fights.
And became undisputed.
Exactly, and he became undisputed. But the reason I gave it to Bivol is because he outclassed Canelo. He outclassed Ramirez. It wasn't competitive. It
wasn't competitive.
It wasn't competitive.
I'll tell you what, though, in that list of deals, I'll give Devin Haney a shout. He's been struggling in the cut weight, and he went to Australia twice and won twice. That's fucking good going. That's good going.
I give him a shout. Because he was willing to pay the cost to go there. But the fact that the whole year consisted of George, it's like it's still pivotal for me. But I'm saying I give big props to Haney for keeping that weight and going there twice. That's unreal. But for me, it boiled down to Inoue and Bivol. And when I thought about what I seen Bivol do this whole year, this was the year of Bivol. This whole year was the Bivol year.
He literally went from a 0 to a hero in less than a year. It's impressive.
In literally 36 minutes.
Impressive.
This is what it is. Bivol had one fight where he was the underdog and one fight where it was even money. Nobody else had fights like that.
Yeah.
And you've also got to give him props for he's not chasing the money. He said, I don't want Canelo. I want undisputed. He's not after the money. He's after legacy. I respect that. He's a proper boxer.
That's a fighter. Boxer. That's a fighter right
That's
there.
a legacy fighter right there. That's a throwback.
But the other thing is this. He's smart. He knows if I become undisputed, right? If I take everything that Better Beef got, I don't have to chase around Canelo. People have to chase. He spoke to Steve Kim. And you know, he got an accent. He speak broken English, and he said, I don't want Canelo. If I get more belt, I don't want Canelo. If I get more belt, more money for me. And it's true that These guys are happy to wait for Canelo. Bro, if I get all the belts, I don't got to wait for nobody. All you fucking cocksuckers in this division, y'all got to wait for me. Shit, if I got all the belts.
Like, he's trying to market himself after his own accomplishments, not up for fucking naming somebody.
What's his, Jules, what's his contract situation, you know? Is he still tied to Matchroom or is he free agent?
I really don't know what his situation with Matchroom is. I heard something about maybe a Buatsi fight, but no, because the thing is, look, remember, if Canelo's fighting Ryder or just anybody else in May, right? And that means that, okay, well, you don't get Canelo if you even going to get him until September. So what the fuck are you going to do in the in between time? We already know Better Beef is spoken for. He's fighting Yarde. And after that, Ramadan. And after that, he don't come back till the third quarter of the year. So in the meantime, who does Bivol fight?
Yeah,
keep busy,
man.
Oh,
shit, I forgot Berterbi is practicing Islam. Fuck.
Yeah. Once Ramadan, he out of here once Ramadan starts. So it's like, okay, he has Yarde.
When does that start?
I think that's March to April. March to April.
Yeah.
And there's another factor you got to take into account. Callum Smith is going to most likely be he's going to go up there he wants his belt too. He wants his belt. So
I mean,
Jamie says that Bivol versus Buatsi is next, and he beats Buatsi. I'm going to say it now.
I'd rather Callum Smith versus Buatsi.
Callum said he wanted a tune-up fight first before he got a title shot, right?
I'd rather Callum Smith against fucking Bivol, because Callum Smith's got a chin. That'd be a fucking great fight.
I'll tell you what. If it's up to me, and it's just me being a fan, the fight that I would want really more while we wait is Bivol versus Smith. If we have to wait,
yes,
that's nice.
Because that's like, Smith could punch, and he could take a punch. He big as shit. This is a better weight for him. But if I think it was Bass that told me that they're kind of ticked off with Buatsi, that because of his amateur background, you really should be further along. And there were times that he took time off when he could have been fighting. So now it's like, well, we got to get something on you, bro. We ain't just going to be, you out here fighting Blotniks and shit.
He had a million excuses not to fight a Pascal.
Yeah. Because as far as Canelo goes, like, I'm sure everybody's with me when I say, like, I don't really want Canelo to rematch Bivol, because that's just going to stop and get away. Because
I just want Canelo to take care.
For all the shit I give Benavidez, I said I think you should fight Benavidez. He sucks.
Exactly.
But my point is,
Canelo should just take care of the trash at 168.
Yeah, I agree. But let me wrap up. Let me finish. Let me finish my point.
Go ahead.
Go on, Jay.
1 sec. Because like, if Canelo wants to go back to 175, let the situation at 175 sort itself out. Then you fight the winner of if the undisputed fight happens. If you want to go back up there again, because other than that, I don't see you going up there to fight at all. I mean,
I don't think
you should let them kill each other. Let Bivol and Better Beef kill each other.
Let them sort it out.
I don't think Canelo beats either of them though.
Fight a banged up Bivol. He might be banged up after the Better Beef fight, but he banged up. And you fight him for all the belts.
Thank you.
Do you think that happens next year, Joe? Do you think we get him the spirit at 175 next year?
Maybe.
I think
but
so.
What I see, I'll tell you what. I believe that the only way it happens is how Devin got George. If Matchroom is involved, Bob won't do it.
Yeah,
I don't think he'll do it.
Where's Callum Smith in the WABA rankings? Is he up there? Is he high?
Nah, but by the BC, he BC. So there's a situation, because there's two scenarios that are plausible that I see. One is after Yarde, Smith gonna start his shit. If he start his, who Mike is doing all that?
Hey, me.
Somebody crackling.
Smith is gonna start his shit, and if he start his shit, Better Beef might have to vacate. Because you know what Eddie gonna want to do? Oh, we gonna take this to a purse bid. You about to come to the zone, Artur. That's what's about to happen to you. Yeah. If Bob don't like that, vacate that shit. Give him that shit. And then what happens? Then what happens? We get Smith
versus
Bivol,
WBC. WBC.
That could happen. Yep. That could happen. But another thing, Bob liked the Smith fight, and I looked at it. I'm like, why would he like the Smith fight?
He's more beatable.
No. It's not that.
Money.
Decent marquee value.
Smith has fans in Liverpool, right? So we finna do what we did with Dillian White. Frank, here's some money. Go win that purse bid. Eddie, you want to go to a bid? Go ahead, Eddie. We'll go to a bid with you, and let our powers combine so that
Frank,
we can. So that Smith end up fighting on BT.
No way in the world. Frank beats fucking Eddie in a
he
first
fucking
bid.
won the White purse bid, bro.
He did.
Because fucking Dillian White's on a fight-by-fight basis. Callum Smith, he knows can win a world title again. He knows Dillian couldn't. Callum Smith, he will win. Eddie will piss all over him on that purse bid. I guarantee you.
And you could put Better Be It versus Smith at Old Trafford.
I'm just telling you that what I see is Bob likes that fight. Why does Bob like that fight? One, you could sell tickets with that fight in the UK. Two, you could pair up with Frank. Frank gonna be the one that do it anyway. What the fuck we gonna get? Better Beef versus Smith at what? At Fantasy Springs? At the MGM? Fuck no.
No, Old Trafford. You got to put that shit in Old Trafford.
Nah, sell at the MEN.
Yeah, I mean,
or the
so
MEN.
what I see is Bob got the wheels working to where he want to pair up with Frank to beat Eddie at the purse bid. They're not going to accept no money. They're going to go to the purse bid, try to beat Eddie at the purse bid, and if they do, Smith better be BT Sport. That's what they trying to do. And that's if Smith start his shit. If I'm Smith, bro, why would I want to fight Better Beef for 3 when I could fight him for 4? Bivol, go get him, and I'll see you later.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But then again, Smith's mantra, when you listen to him speak the last 6 to 8 months, all he's saying is, I want title fights. I don't want interim fights. I want a title fight.
Bro, he's saying that, but one, let's be honest, Better Beef might beat you. That's one. 2, you versus the winner of Bivol versus Better Beef. It's a bigger fight. You could do it in Liverpool. You get ridiculous money, bro. Ridiculous.
Yeah, you get massive. Actually, I don't actually think it'd be in Liverpool.
If he wants his title shot next, it's like another year, coming up a year of inactivity for Callum Smith. So,
but the other shit is he ain't gonna get the shot right away anyway. Think about it. If Better Beef is fighting Yarde, right, early next year, and he gonna take a couple months off because of Ramadan, bro, you ain't even gonna fight that man if you can fight that man. You ain't even gonna see that man till like the end of the year.
And knowing
yeah,
Better Beef,
go fight Buatsi, bro. You can knock him out.
And Better Beef, he might get hurt after the Yarde fight.
Knowing Better Beef's track record, he probably fucking pray too hard and slam his head and get another injury, man.
I mean, because he's right. Every fucking fight, something happens to Better Beef. Every fucking fight, bro.
He's breaking down. He's getting old, isn't he?
The fight lasted 2 rounds, bro. He still had to have surgery after the fight. 2 rounds.
He's almost 40 years old and he's been through the ringer. Like, no shit.
Watch Smith sells in the UK. It sells in the UK.
It sells in the UK.
It sells in the UK, but it's not Liverpool, but Manchester Arena.
Dude. They won't do it in the MEN. I think Eddie will take it to the O2. It's bigger ticket prices. It goes to the O2.
Oh wait,
sell the O2.
Yeah, one or the other. Yeah, definitely.
So they see what Bob and Frank see is you got a guy who can move some tickets in Smith, and if you want to fuck around with these purse bids, all right, Eddie, we'll do that. But you know what I mean? This might go sideways. If I'm Smith, I chill. Look, let's do this. Let's do Callum Smith, Joshua Buatsi. He's green. He don't throw a lot of punches. He looked chinny to me, if I'm being real. Yeah, he looked chinny to me.
I think Callum knocks him out. I believe
Callum puts him out.
If I'm Callum, you want to get money. I want to get money. I got something. It's like if you Joshua Buatsi, this is the other thing. How long do you want to be on the bring along? Because you're not young. Joshua young.
I think it'll be 30 next year.
He's chinny and he doesn't move his head much. So Smith would knock him out.
Yeah, but do you honestly think Boatsy takes that fight? I don't. Fucking no way. Not for no belt.
That's what I'm alluding to, Mark. That I'm like, look, if you Joshua Boatsy, you got to be real, bro. You know, you in your early 30s, that's one. But you got an amateur background. What does it say that Anthony Yarde is on the eve of his second title fight and you ain't even had one yet? And you got an amateur background. He don't.
I agree. He is scared of his own. He is scared of losing his own.
He don't want to lose. It's like, yo, it's now or never, bro. Like, look, you could fight. Listen, now pay attention. You could try to fight Better Beef, but you're not going to get the money with Better Beef or Bivol that you get with me. With me, we do this in the UK at the O2. We get money. We get money. Like, you could get some money. You could get some money with Bivol, but you know it won't sell like we'll sell because we from here. We both.
That's why I give Yarde credit. I mean, I don't like him as a fighter, but I'll give him credit. He went to Russia and fought fucking Kovalev. I know he was faded and he nearly won, but then he gassed and lost, and now he's going to fight fucking.
What is say that a dude that ain't no amateur background, no Team GB, no medal, no nothing. This dude about to fight for a title the second time. You ain't fought.
That's true.
After the Craig Richards fight, Virgil Hunter literally said he's not ready for Better Beef and Bivol. He needs like 2 more fights.
Yeah, I agree, but I think he beat Yarde easily.
I think he beat.
All right. I'll tell you what, Mark. I'm with you. If you made them fight, I would go with Boatsy behind straight punches and the jab. I would go with him. I don't like either of their gas tank. Y'all don't have a good gas tank. Neither does Boatsy.
No sparring.
But Boatsy's a bad boxer and he wins on points.
That's what I'm saying. With the jab from the outside, occasional right hand, he wins the fight. But the shit is that, my God, I done seen Yarde Kovalev already. I done seen Yarde Arthur already. 2 times. 2 times. Bro, when you go fight somebody?
What do you think of Callum Smith versus Craig Richards?
Say it again.
Callum Smith kills him.
Callum Smith kills him.
Craig
Craig is tricky. Craig is tricky because he has legs.
He's durable. He's durable too.
Nah, but you know,
Callum Smith knocks him out in 6.
This is my thing. He don't move his head or his torso. So when he shoot that right, you gonna get it, and you gonna go out. Yeah, you gonna go out. That right hand. The whole Liverpool is in that right hand, bro. Every apartment building is in that right hand.
Callum chins him in 6 rounds. Easy.
I think he'll stop him late.
Not to change the subject too much, Jules, but did you get a chance to laugh at what Boo Boo said about not fighting on Yanni Beck?
What he said?
I saw that.
Oh, fuck.
I saw
what he said.
Fight hype.
Yeah, the hype interview.
He said, like, I put in too much work to fight someone that tough. Basically saying I'd rather fight for peanuts on an undercard than fucking have a tough fight.
My God, listen, look. I gave Demetrius Andrade the benefit of the doubt. I gave Demetrius Andrade the benefit of the doubt for about 4 to 5 years. This is the year I said, enough, bro. You don't. Enough.
That's it.
Enough. Like, and I really did. Like, I was even with him. Like, look, Golovkin ducked him as far as I'm concerned. Yes, bro. You did not have to go to Japan to unify title. This motherfucker was right there. You could have fought him. You literally waited a whole year when this motherfucker was right there. You could have fought him. You didn't want to know, right? I gave him his props and all of that, but now after this year, no, I'm done, my guy. You screwed it. You screwed the pooch with Yanni Beck. You screwed the pooch with Zach Parker. You about to fight Edgar Berlanga's sloppy seconds on the undercard, bro. You telling me you gonna get more money doing that than you would have got fighting Yanni Beck on Top Rank? I don't believe you. I was just going
to say, I've been out of the loop for a couple of weeks. I've had family issues. My dad's been really ill, so I've missed a lot of shit. But I caught something earlier. Is that right? That fucking Andre is fighting on a fucking PVC undercard against some
bro.
Fucking...
Listen. He's fighting on the undercard of Davis versus Hector Garcia, and he's fighting Desmond Nicholson. That's a guy that Edgar Berlanga beat 4 fights ago.
You see,
and put a Kalanga beat him. Fucking hell.
And then you know what?
Jesus Christ.
I like him. He's the goods, I think, on the eye test. But when Boots Ennis tweets, "I'm feeling real dangerous for my fight," I'm like, bro, get the fuck out of here.
You fighting a dude named Karen Pikachu, bro.
And they said he's fighting a Wi-Fi cat.
Nobody say nothing. Nobody say nothing. You don't never hear my man low maintenance Virgil Ortiz saying A, B, C, and D. He about to have a real fight with a real fighter. That's a not named after a Pokemon.
That's a good fight.
He got a better resume than Ennis, man. I don't give a fuck what you think would happen if they fought. What I know is he has a better resume than Ennis.
Look, leave Ennis alone. Just because he's fighting Karen Peekaboo don't mean you can diss him on the over here, okay?
Fuck that shit. George says he's going to lose, but I like him. Lions in the camp. Base says Callum Smith does not KO Craig Richards. Yes, he does, Base.
Yes, he fucking does. Yes, he fucking does.
The fuck he does.
Yes, he does.
Whole Liverpool, Joe Gallagher, Natasha Jonas, Rhiannon Dixon, everybody is in that motherfucking fish of Callum
Smokes his ass. Smokes his ass.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this.
Shakur's going to fight? Who's going to Shakur going to fight?
The Japanese guy, bro. See, y'all need to keep up with the relay because I told y'all motherfuckers 3 weeks ago.
I watched
Listen,
it.
I said he's gonna fight the Japanese guy, Yoshihiro, the dude that just beat the shit out of Nakatani in Japan.
You don't even know his name.
Yoshihiro, some shit, bro.
Hey, I'm old. So
Yoshino, some shit, bro. You about to fight that guy?
Man. What's his record?
Oh, she knows some shit already.
Oh, he beat Masayuki Ito. Yeah, this guy.
Yeah, he beat Ito. He beat Masayuki Ito.
Oh, Shuichiro Yoshino. That's his name.
Shuichiro, exact. I told y'all the guy from Japan with the peroxide in his hair. That's
sushi.
Yo, Jules, let me ask you this. I got a question.
California roll. He's gonna fight California roll.
Yeah, Shuichiro Yoshino.
Yeah.
Mochino Tackleberry.
Mochaccino, whatever. No, Jules, I got a question to ask you. All right. You think Virgil Ortiz will have a lot of difficulty against Amata Stanionis? I have a feeling he will, even though I believe he will get the W. But how will he fare against Amata Stanionis? Will he have a lot of fits?
There's one thing that Amantis does that I don't like, and that's that he fights in sequence. If you go back and watch the Radzav Butaev fight, they were literally taking turns. Literally. Yeah. You hit me, then I hit you, then you hit me, then I hit
you.
It's
like Rock'em Sock'em robots.
Rock'em Sock'em is one at a time, fellas. Rock'em Sock'em is when you ain't got no defense. The problem with Amantis that I see is he's a good, strong kid. He's balanced. He has offense and defense. Ring savvy. It's like, you got to try to hit the guy between the punches. Don't just take turns. You got to hit the guy between the punches. And if you covering up and not setting nothing up, it's just going to be like that. Oh, you hit me, then I hit you, then you hit me.
You got to catch him in the exchange.
12 rounds. Now, what's the problem with Virgil if you do that with him? If you do that with him,
stop punching.
He's not going to stop punching, and he's going to fucking hurt you, bro.
He's going to try to knock you out.
He's got power.
Especially if you stand there and let him hit you.
You can't just sit. You hit me, and you hit me. Wait a minute. You hit me. Wait a minute.
Virgil's not going to wait. Virgil's not going to wait.
Stop hitting me, man.
Wait, Boots is fighting someone called Churro?
He's fighting a dude called Karen Chukatsian.
I call him Karen Page.
Yeah, his name's Churro, though. See, it's Karen Churro.
He's fighting Karen Page. So
he's fighting Katniss Everdeen. Katniss Everdeen. District 11. Who was it, like this, or it was like District 11?
I think it was just the middle finger that said "fuck you," something like that.
It's PBC bullshit as per usual. Jules, I just wanted to go back on one point. We were talking about Callum Smith. Can we talk about his brother? I know that Chris Eubank Jr.'s got a lot of props lately because Chris Eubank Jr.'s.
I would love for Beefy to win that.
To knock him out. So would I.
I would love that, bro.
Fucking love that.
And I said it, man. Look, I don't like Chris at all in any capacity. But is he strong? Yes. Can he take a punch? Yes.
Yes.
You have an engine? Yes.
Yes.
Wins the fight. If Beefy at his best is a mid-range, the inside guy that wants to smoke. He want the action. If you open up and he open up, you going out, bro.
I hope they knock each other out, honestly.
A double knockout.
I see Anthony Fowler hurt him in the early stages of day fight.
Jules, do you think then, so when Eubank beats him either on points or late stoppage, do you think next summer we still get fucking Ben Eubank?
No, I think we get Kell Brook, then maybe Ben.
Hey,
Ben. Wait, let me say this. Kell Brook, before the fight got canceled, Kell Brook was already back in the gym. He was eyeing the winner of the fight. The way I see it, if I'm kind of Ben and I'm Eddie Hearn, let's make Ben versus Brook. They could say what they want. Let me talk.
Easy touch.
Hold on, let me talk. I don't care about PEDs. I don't care about UCAD. I don't care about pregnancy tests. If you make Ben versus Brook, UK is going. Yeah, they going. They watching that shit. I don't give a fuck.
Yo, I'm still
154 or 160. Ben versus Brook, they watching that fight, bro. They're watching.
I'm still waiting for Conor Ben to give me all that copious amount of excuses. He said he had something in like.
But this the shit. But this is my thing. I don't care if he was on PEDs. To be completely honest with you, I don't care. Oscar was on PEDs as far as I'm concerned. Oscar Valdez, yes. I don't believe shit you say. I don't believe it was T. I believe you were cycling whatever. All right, you were on PEDs. And Ortiz was on PEDs, and Povetkin was on PEDs, and Lucas Brown was on PEDs, and Dillian White and Tyson Fury. Let's stop being naive, gentlemen, please. We believe these guys when they say that. Do we believe Luis Ortiz when he tells us?
Now you're hearing Jake talking shit about Ryan. He juicing.
No, you scared, and you know how I know you scared. You didn't start saying none of that shit till y'all was about to fight. But when y'all about to say, now
you come out with it. Now you come out with
it.
Jules, I agree. Jules, I agree that fight sells massively in the UK and it does well. But hand on heart, Brook has not been the same fighter for the last 18 months. I think.
I know, but remember this. Remember, we thinking down the line, right? We thinking several months from now, Conor Ben will have been out of action over a year. Making welterweight? I don't think so.
No.
Kell Brooks still wants another payday. I know he does. Yeah. That's why he was eyeing the winner of the fight. He was already in the gym saying, I'm eyeing the winner of the fight. So I say, if I'm Eddie, hey, Kell, you want to get some money, bro? Get some money, bro? Pay-per-view, bro. Pay-per-view, bro. 154, bro. You ain't got to make it 47.
I still think Ben still smokes him. Ben smokes him.
I'll call Brooke. You want to go to Dubai, baby?
Exactly. Jules, if I can circle back to Boots right quick. You mentioned earlier how the PBC fighters are being coached to pretty much do what they do. Why is it that despite Boots constantly lining himself up for IBF eliminators, he keeps calling out Crawford? I think, honestly...
Showtime is coaching him to vilify Crawford.
Yes. That's what I'm getting at.
He's supposed to be the anti-Crawford. That's what they want him to be. But like I said at the top of the show, if what Stefan Espinoza and Cameron Duncan really wanted was a Crawford fight for Boots, one, why do you keep fighting in IBF eliminators? Two, when are you going to make him an offer? Because he's the networking promotional free agent.
Thank you.
You were Showtime, right? You can't fight off Showtime. So if they want Crawford versus Ennis on Showtime, y'all got to pay for it. When y'all going to pay for it? Because the fight don't make itself. It don't. He could have offered you the same thing they offered Evanesian. Would you have took the fight? No. Would you have been at liberty to take the fight? No. So what the fuck are we
Crawford versus Aaron Pryor? Who wins?
I mean, Virgil is also doing it very slick, though, because he's not going the WBO route, even though he is ranked number 1 there. He went the WBA route.
Exactly.
He could petition for the fight if he really wants it. He could.
I think
Golden Boy knows he'd lose to Crawford right now.
He would.
I mean, to me, if I'm Oscar, I build that fight. But more importantly, I deliver the zone of pound for pound talent. Well, really, not if I'm Oscar. If I'm Eric Gomez, I'm gonna get y'all a pound for pound fighter. I'm gonna get y'all Terrence Crawford. I'm gonna get y'all him. And what we gonna do with him is we're gonna build him up for 2 fights to an Ortiz fight. Let's be real with each other. Let's be real with ourselves. None of us are getting Spence in the ring. Even if Ortiz versus Spence is a huge fight in Texas, it's not going to happen. It's not
going to happen.
Let's stop wasting. Let's stop wasting our time with shit that ain't gonna happen. What's my angle if I'm Eric Gomez? 3 fights from now, Terrence is gonna be a year older. 3 fights.
Mm-hmm.
So let's do it 3 fights from now. We sign him. Hey, Terrence, what's your guarantee at ESPN? Something like around $3 million, right? $3 million a fight around there. We can get you that. We're delivering a pound-for-pound fighter to the zone. That's what we're doing. And they keep saying he don't sell. Eat a dick, bro. Eat a fucking dick. All right? You get the guy.
Jules, can I switch it up? Can I switch it up to the females? I want your opinion on that.
Let him finish.
Sorry, Jules, one.
Get him Alexis Roach. Well, really, I'd get him Blair Cobbs first because that would be a funny fucking ass.
No.
Oh Lord.
No need for that.
Then you step him up. You step him up to the guy that just knocked out Blair Cobbs, Alexis Rocha, en route to the unification match because by that time, Virgil gonna have the BA unification match, pay-per-view, West Coast for the money, right? We want asses in the seats, gentlemen. All right. On pay-per-view, I'm telling you, like Eric, I hope you're listening. Please, Roberto and Eric, I hope you're listening. On pay-per-view, it sells, bro. Virgil versus Bud.
I'm buying that shit.
Nothing crazy. Nothing. I'm not telling you it sells 800,000, 600,000. I'm telling you it does between 3 and 4.
I can see that.
Between 3 and 4.
Funny enough, I think it does just about as much as Spence versus Bud does, honest to God.
Yeah, because Spence fans don't buy pay-per-views and motherfuckers don't want to accept that. He just fought in a unification match with the unstoppable Lugas. And what that do?
I mean, look, it's fitting though. You got to think about it. If your idol is a piece of shit who steals fights from his own stablemates, then in my humble opinion, you should do the same,
Bums of a feather flock together.
Bums of a feather steal together.
Mm-hmm. Spence can't afford pay-per-views. His car insurance is too crazy, so he can't really afford pay-per-views.
Like somebody said earlier in a super chat, they call him the crash cow now.
He's the crash cow.
Look, I think Canelo said it best. It's like we live in an era where it's like prospects have more recognition than the fucking champions because it really just is like an era of just like, what have you done for me lately?
I mean, think about it. Look at how they talk about Ennis, right? And look, I think the Ortiz kid is amazing, right? And his resume, by far and wide, it's way better than Ennis's. I'm not knocking Ennis, but it is the truth. Former champion Mighty Mo Hooker, 2-time Olympian and world title challenger Egidijus Kavaliauskas. Now he's fighting Stanionis, who beat unbeaten Radzav Butaev, okay? This kid's got a resume, and he's only 19-0, 24 years old. You are literally fighting a man named Karen.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I think Jaron is more talented. I think he's more skillful. But in a fight, you have to favor Virgil because he's fighting, and he's been fighting decent opponents.
Fighting better competition.
It's like
and he's active.
With Ennis, I see what you're doing, right? With Ennis, and I look at him, I'm like, I see what you're doing, and whether it's his fault or not. What I'm seeing is the guy in the ring is not a threat to you, irrespective of whatever. Lipanietz never stood a chance, bro. Dulorme never stood a fucking broke dick dog's chance, bro. Are you crazy? No. What impressed me was Clayton. Why? Clayton is defensively responsible. He's a former Olympian, and he was an unbeaten fighter. That's what impressed me. But that's all you did, bro, is Custio Clayton. For your Custio Clayton, I could raise you, Michael McKinson.
Now I have a question. I have a question for everyone on the panel. Now, with this in mind, knowing the track record of Boots, which no diss to him, but do you think Keon's going to be his one fight for 2023?
Probably. I got a question. Listen, I got a question for you, bro. After he beat Karen, who are you going to fight on Showtime?
Shirley.
Oh my God.
Shirley.
Broly. Fight him, bro.
They'll get him rolling.
I think Erickson Lubin at 154.
No, I got another. I got another question. After he fights Karen, is he going to fight again in 2023?
No, that's what I'm saying. That was the question. Like, do you?
Oh shit!
That's the question I got. If he beat
Ennis?
Karen and puts Karen back in the Pokeball, who we gonna fight at that?
And this was Colazo pay-per-view.
They'll feed him rolling. I got a question.
I have the answer. It hit me. It hit me though. Let me just answer the question. I know who he's gonna fight. He's gonna fight the infamous Mario Barrios. It was good enough for Keith Thurman. It's good enough for him.
They will do that. They will do that.
Yeah, you'll probably would do
my
that.
face if that doesn't sound logical for the PBC.
Yeah,
they would do that.
They would do that.
Can somebody explain to me? So the argument now is that Spence had his car accident, so they had to push back his fight. But they're already saying that since they have another fight in the works, that they can't spin the block and fight Crawford. Wouldn't you think if you had the capacity to make that fight, why would there be any excuse made? And why is it that a guy who was in a car wreck was walking around 2 weeks later with all his faculties? Why can he now not fight until April or May at this point? And why is that opponent not going to be Terrence Crawford?
Well, because I heard it was
he shouldn't be spinning anything. He should walk. He should take a skateboard or something. He shouldn't be spinning anything.
Yo,
Bro,
real talk.
Boxing
has to move on, bro. We're not getting that fight. Let's just move.
Bro,
I
moved on, bro. Like that's why I'm like, I don't talk about that fight in the context that anything real. Like, bro, think about it. Just I don't even know if I should believe the accident. You got into another accident? Another one? Is this real?
But if you did get in an accident, why are you walking around talking, have your whole facilities? Why do you have to move a fight back 60 or 70 days now because of that?
Just fight, Thurman.
I've been done with 147 already. I've already been done with them.
Well, I think it's definitive now. Like, I think Crawford beats him easily at this point because he literally can't stop getting hit by cars. Like, at this point, as inactive as he is, he's just going to lose.
That's dummy. He gets into more car accidents than he gets into fights.
Jules, I will say this.
That's crazy.
If Spence keeps fucking around, man, he might lose to Thurman. I'm just saying.
He
keeps fucking around.
Nah, because
he's gotta stop going to the
I don't want. Listen, I really look. There's things that I can handle. There's things I can handle. I can't handle more.
He gets into more wrecks than Kevin Harvick.
I can't handle more Keith Thurman, bro. I can't handle a resurgence of Keith. I really can't, bro.
Now hear me out. I will play devil's advocate just for fun. Now imagine in a scenario where Keith Thurman beats Errol Spence. Can you imagine the scenario on the PBC Twitter? Can you just comprehend such an outcome, Jules?
They don't like Thurman. He don't have fans, bro. He has one fan. One. I'm not gonna say his name.
I know who it is.
His mom?
Keith Thurman.
No, even his own mom don't believe him that much.
He has one fan that I know of. That if I don't know nobody that like Keith Thurman, this guy likes Keith Thurman.
Can you put it in the chat?
I'm not. Fuck all that, man. All that typing and shit.
I got you.
I'll say it. I'll say it since nobody wants to. The guy that likes
shit, bro.
The guy that likes Keith Thurman also is Teofimo's unofficial media spokesperson.
Sugar daddy.
I ain't in that shit. I'm not in that shit, bro. Y'all motherfuckers doing some shit.
Come on.
I'm not in that shit.
And you know me, I'm not gonna call nobody out their name, but those are the facts.
All right. Those is the facts, but I ain't saying more than that. But you also says after he obliterates Karen Churrasco, Boots is gonna fight Stacy, Christoph, and
Hey, Jules, pretty good.
Hey, Jules, when you got that Santa hat, did you also get a machine gun? Ho ho ho.
No, I didn't get the machine gun.
You know, Die Hard.
I know, but I ain't get the machine gun. What I'm gonna say is, look, bro, if Thurman wins that fight, we not gonna care because we're not Spence fans. It don't mean nothing to us. If anything, we're gonna laugh.
We're
gonna laugh. But for them guys, because they don't fuck with Thurman, bro. They really don't. They don't fuck with no Keith. Nobody really fucks with Keith Thurman. So if he beat the Truth, Errol, the Crash Cows, that's gonna be a nightmare for them.
Jules, are you gonna be more excited? Are you gonna be more rubbing it in their face if Errol loses or Tank loses?
Errol. Fuck him.
Guys,
I'm not gonna lie. I think the Tank sexuals are worse than the Errol sexuals, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Errol Flanders streams are the best streams, bro.
You know what's funny? Errol's fans, I feel like are just like remnants of Wildest fans because they have the same fucking energy. It's like
they are.
I'll tell you what it is. They have.
Let me answer this. Aaron, let me answer this. Aaron, what's even funnier is you're gonna have to watch me remove your boy from the pound for pound because we know you don't like Thurman. That's gonna be the real funny shit. And you're gonna have to watch me do that. That Thurman will come in at number 10 behind Devin Haney, but no Errol, because no pound for pound fighter should be losing to Keith Thurman.
If you look at the defenders of Tank,
and then business wise, it's a nightmare for PBC.
Here's what someone asked about: what's the difference? If you look at them on Twitter, Errol's defenders do it in a homoerotic way. Let's just call it what the fuck it is.
They want to fuck him.
They want
to fuck him.
The yellow beezy thing. They see that Errol sends out all the signals that someone like them does.
Yo, he was kissing yellow beezy.
Jules,
yo, listen, they want. Look,
keep it real, Jules.
Listen, wait, let me say this. It's two kinds of Errol Spence fans. One of the fans, one set of fans, they want to fuck him. The other set of fans want to be fucked by him.
Jules, what do I say?
Yo. Also Dallas Cowboy fans from the area.
Fellas, what do I always say? What do I always say? Bro, fellas, what do I always say? They want that truth.
Arrow fans, bro.
There's actually a third one. They want to see their girl fucked by Arrow.
They want that truth.
They want that truth, bro.
AJ,
why you gotta go there?
AJ, one thing to say.
They want the truth. They want his chocolate-covered strawberries, man.
I told you so. At this point,
they want to go to Dubai, baby.
They want to free trip to Dubai.
I see the dude on Twitter, right? They posted a picture of Errol with his girl nipples out. And the dude literally said, Drew, you see this? The dude was like, yo, he is shaved. He is shaved.
Hey, they want to go to Dubai, baby.
Why do I have a sneaking suspicion that that's going to be a clip that's going to be on Twitter?
Well, bro, he the new Yusuf Mack. Yusuf Mack.
You know what, though? Yeah. That has to be a clip because I know how that's going to infuriate the other side of boxing Twitter when Jules posts that.
My God, listen. It's going to be a Dallas underground sex tapes, and I bet you Errol going to be in that shit. He the new Yusuf Mack, bro. He the new Lil Zane. Who remember Lil Zane?
Whoa. De La Hoya? No, De La Hoya. He was doing it with bitches, okay? Stop it.
He had fishnets on, but he's in the room with some bitches, bro. He wasn't in there with a bunch of guys.
Jules,
oh my God.
From an outside perspective, looking from the UK, I think Eddie Hearn said it best, right? And I believe this is fact. I'm not an Errol Spence fan. I think he's a fucking idiot. I think he's a bit fucking gay, and I think he's a fucking soft cunt. But I believe that also that they both believe the fight is worth a lot more than it's worth. They're asking for too much big guarantees, and they're not getting them guarantees, and they're both fucking not budging on it. And that's what it is.
I'm with you. They think
that fight is not worth it, mate.
Listen, they think that fight is 1 million pay-per-views or even 500,000. Whereas what I see is, look, man, motherfuckers shouldn't spend more than 20 million, if not 15 million in guarantees on the both of you. Because Errol, your numbers are down, bro. They're not up. From the time you debuted on pay-per-view till now, your numbers are down. Bud, I love you, but you don't move units like that. So to me, if I'm trying to get it to where we make money, where we can make money, Bud, I got 5 to 7 for you. I got 5 to 7. Upside of the pay-per-view is there, but I got 5 million to 7 million guaranteed for you. Errol, I got 7 to 8 guaranteed for you. Those are the guaranteed purses. You should be able to get them that in Vegas.
Yeah.
Should be able to.
I heard Eddie say the other day. He said at the end of the day, obviously in America, Spence is the bigger draw. But that's just a fact, right? He said if they were confident of making the money back on the pay-per-view, that Crawford should take 4, Errol should take 6, and then do a 40-60 split on pay-per-view. But they won't do it because the Eagles are too fucking big. They want too much money up front. Yeah,
because you know what the problem is? They and I'm not going to say they because Errol's not making no decisions. Bud is making decisions. And Bud feels like, well, for this fight that has been built, in his mind, the fight has been built over 4 years. But the reality of it is, nah, bro, this is 350 pay-per-view buys to 4 at best. At best. You won't
but the bad thing is, Joe's that fucking Terrence has been used to getting fucking 6 million for like easy touches with like fucking, shot fighters from the UK for 4 or 5, 6 mil. And those being asked to say,
remember what Terrence said. He was willing to take the deal that was on the table, but the fight wasn't for this year anyway. And the deal was on the table was for no guaranteed cash. So if they tell you, listen, bro, and this is how I think you get the fight done. Bud, I got 7 to 8 for you. 7 to 8. Errol, I got 8, maybe 9 for you. All right. And you should be able to gamble that because then what you have to do is your fucking job. Promote the fight. I need Bud and Terrence both on Power 105. I need them on Drink Champs. I need these motherfuckers. On TV.
Yeah.
I need these motherfuckers on Joe Rogan.
You don't want Spence on Drink Champs, Jules.
You don't want Spence on Drink
But Jules, the thing is, though, I don't think the fight ever happens unless fucking, which I agree with, Crawford gets to see the open bucks. Because if you don't get to see the open bucks and what they make, he's not fucking taking that. He's not getting ripped off. He's not taking it out of seeing the bucks.
Also, I just wanted to add that the idea that Errol sells tickets is kind of funny to me because, he sells tickets in his hometown. If Terrence fought in Omaha every fucking fight, he'd be considered a ticket mover too. Like, exactly. Errol doesn't fight in New York. They went to LA with Sean Porter and never went back for a reason.
What was the crowd the other week with the Avanesian fight on that Black Promotions or whatever? I'm not sure. Does anybody know what the crowd was?
The number that's out there right now. No, there's a number out there. There is a number out there.
Over 120,000?
Over 120,000. And Marcos Villegas said that's the number he heard. Rick Glacier said that's the number he heard. The guy from God, what's the name of that New York boxing article, man? At New York Fights, he said that's the number he heard. I got 3 screenshots from 3 people that say they heard the pay-per-view did around 124,000.
No pay-per-view, Jules. I mean, ticket for the sellout. How many seats was there?
They sold out. 14,000. Yeah, they sold out. They sold out. Yeah, they sold out over 14,000. Over 14,000.
Oh, fucking fair play.
I mean, shit. That's rough. Funny enough, that's probably roughly around what the fucking Ugas fight did because the Ugas fight did not generate that much for Errol.
It didn't.
I'm curious. People wanted out to be like Ugas's claim to fame was that he beat like 90-year-old Pacquiao.
Exactly.
Fuck me. Tyson Fury sold 4,000 tickets on ESPN to fight Tom Schwartz.
My God, put it this way: did Ugas become a superstar after he beat Old Manny, Geriatric Manny?
No, only people that actively believe it were people who buy into all this bullshit PBC hype.
It's people who don't buy fights.
What I'm curious
exactly.
Is if after Terrence got this big guarantee, is he more open now to take a softer amount of money because he got that secure payday?
He was willing to take no money up front.
Yeah, that was the plan. That was the plan, though. He literally said, because you guys are like dragging your feet, I'm gonna not be inactive and I'm gonna take $10 million for this fucking
That's what
tuna.
I'm saying. But
because why wouldn't
maybe he's gonna take more of a dick in the booty deal, even more so because he just got that $10 million.
Well, he accepted no guarantee. That's already dick in the booty.
What more can he do? He said he'll take no guarantee as long as he can see the books, see the revenue, and he gets his fair split. And then they just said, no, I'm not going to show you the books.
You know what he has to do. He's got to go to Dubai, baby. That's what he got to do.
No, 70-30 split and give Errol a bottle of liquor. That would be a great deal.
Be his designated driver. Be his designated driver because he fucking need one.
No, funny enough, you know what he has to do? Jokes aside, if he wants that fight, take absolutely nothing. Just show up and do it for free. That is damn near the only way.
Fight for a pack of Wrigley Spearmint gum. That's it.
Well, I bet you $5 Al Hammond says I can only do half. I can only do half.
I can get you half the pack.
Mind you, it'll be chewed up. It'll be chewed up.
And you're gonna get it next month. You're not gonna get it.
Oh, fuck it.
Work with me. I can get you half that.
No, well, here's what's, jokes aside. What he's gonna offer? I want a bag of Doritos. No, I can only get you the off-brand Ditos.
Yeah, the other ones, the other shits. Not
throwing
even
a 4-pack of Mentos.
Like the Dollar General version of the Doritos.
Exactly. He got the Ditos.
Look, I'm settled, bro. Like underneath it all, nobody. I don't think anybody on this panel thinks that fight is.
No, it's dead. It's dead. It's dead. I've come to terms. It's dead. It's dead.
I think
it's dead.
You know what's funny? This fight has been dead for me about 2 years ago because I wanted this fight back in 2018.
Yeah, well, that's 4 years.
That's 4 years.
Yeah, I know, but 2020, like pre-COVID, I still have.
I see what you mean. That you didn't realize that, man. This shit ain't about to happen.
Yeah, exactly. Like I didn't think about it till like 2020.
And where I'm at, I'm pouring my energy into Ortiz Crawford because I see that as being viable. As much as Ortiz versus Spence would do numbers, but that's not gonna happen, bro. It's not gonna happen, bro. Look,
BBC giving the belts over to fucking Golden Boy. Yeah, right.
Exactly. Like you know the shit is, and this is right there. They're about to move Errol up to 154 to fight Fundoria. That's why they had Fundoria fight Ocampo, and then he'll fight the other guy, Murtazaliev, whatever his name is. That's what they want to do, bro. And Mel gonna move up to 60, and Maul gonna move up to 68. Maybe they'll make Charlo. Maybe they'll finally make Charlo versus Andrade. Later, super duper. Now that neither man has a belt, because that's how they do it. Now that neither of them has a belt. All right, let's make
Jules, what bugs my ass the most though is if Spence versus Crawford never happens, you're going to get the aerosexuals for the next 15 years saying he would have fucking beat him easy, blah blah blah. I want to see Crawford smoke his ass.
Bro, I called this already, bro. I'm telling you, his career is close to the end. Errol's. He'll meet his end at 54.
Yeah, somebody stops him.
Dude, it's like you blow up after every fight. You get hit by cars. You're drunk all the time. Like you're not going to beat Crawford, man. Like I'm more confident about it now than I was in 2018.
In his defense, though, being drunk all the time, getting hit by cars, kind of sounds like a live life. He's living it.
Yeah,
so actually, can I ask you a question, Jules? Do you think he can even beat Fundoria at 154?
Nope.
I don't think he can, man.
I think he can.
No. I'll tell you why. See, with Errol, what I see, and the more I think about that fight, the more it seems fixed to me. And I see that people are starting to catch up, and they're starting, because I saw a Carcino video about it. I saw people talking about it on Twitter, and y'all know that I said it the night of the fight. This is a weird looking fight.
Yeah, man.
It's a weird fight.
I'm surprised. Because Jules, to attest to the situation, I rewatched that fight, the Danny Garcia fight, and the Mikey Garcia fight. These guys have been taking it easy on him.
It looked that way.
They have. Especially post car wreck. It's like Danny and it's like nah. Y'all ain't giving it your 100% in there.
Like the Danny fight. Look, Danny looked like Danny to me because Danny is always a step behind the other guy. Why? He's a counter puncher, but he's not a very good counter puncher. He's just a counter puncher. So when you let the other guy lead, you're always going to be behind because you let the other guy lead. And I saw that in the Danny fight. Like, I don't think the Danny fight was fixed or the Mikey fight. Mikey was just, if anything, I think Errol took it easy on Mikey. Like, okay, I'm going to let you hit me, Errol. Boom, 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 boom.
But that was not considering the fact that he said he tried to knock him out. So
Mikey looked just way too small for that fight. He looked so like a mismatch physically.
He looked like a fat little man. Yeah. But the Ugas fight was different. The Ugas fight was different for me because Ugas was not doing
nothing.
It's anything. Like we watch a lot of fights, and when we see certain things happen in a fight, there's things that we expect to happen after that. With Ugas, bro, you know, you're not doing anything except coming forward in a high. Like you're not doing anything.
Doesn't he usually move? He usually moves, doesn't he?
Not only that, but when he had him hurt, he stopped.
That's what I was gonna say. What time in a fight?
Was fucking weird. That was weird.
What time in a fight have you ever seen a guy hurt and then he back off of him? I've never witnessed.
That's literally he hurt the guy. He goes in. Oh shit!
Yeah.
Sorry, I was supposed to do that. My bad.
What do I do, right?
Well, so I have one point I want to make real quick is this: even if Spence moves up, the lifestyle he's living and all the stuff that's going on that he's getting into, he's gonna suffer and have trouble no matter what.
And here's what they're hoping, fellas. Here's what they're still wishing: that they could sell that O to Canelo.
Oh yeah.
That's all they're waiting for.
So
and
I have
Canelo, and you know what the weirdest shit is? It's like Canelo doesn't need, because he's a competitor. You know that's what them guys over there, they don't understand that. Well, Drew talks about this all the time, but they don't understand that there are people that want to fight. The guys you have, they don't want to fight, but there are people, there are fighting men. Like you hear Tyson Fury say it all the time. You can see who the fighting men are. Bivol is a fighting man.
They're like I say all the time. There's dudes that actually like the feeling of getting fighting.
Better be. He looked at Yarde in that bucket hat. Push the goddamn table like, well, I can't wait to fuck you up.
A dude like better be of Jules. The
Even
fight
Ortiz likes to fight.
Look at like for Artur, the fight doesn't start till the other guy hits him. Then he's like, yeah.
So I understand.
When Joe Smith was rushing him, Artur was like, watch this.
I'm saying, what they don't understand, and the bill of goods that they have been sold is that the best way to go about a boxing career is, instead of training to be the best and being your best and focusing on being the best version of you, which is hard. It is hard. But what they've been told is no shortcuts, just shortcuts.
Yeah.
Shortcuts
Shortcuts and easy paydays. Easy paydays.
There's a difference. There's a difference.
Yeah, it's like being a big fish in a small pond. That's their model.
But there's a difference. There's a difference between a boxer and a pugilist.
I've got a question for that. Go on, Joe.
Good.
I've got a question for the panel, yeah? Everyone knows that Canelo's never going to go down below 168, yeah? So if Spence is looking for the big money fight, yeah, and he fucking comes up to 168 and blows up, does anybody here realistically believe that Spence can last 4 rounds? Canelo.
No.
Can he go 4 rounds? Can he go 4 rounds with Canelo?
That fight's going to be a cruiser.
That's the most ridiculous
this is the thing. Spence, a lot of except for Sean, because I believe that certain fighters, I saw, and go back to the videos, I shit you not, I saw that they gave Danny an easy route to a title, and I saw that Sean did not have an easy route to it. He didn't. He had to fucking fight Ugas, Danny, and Thurman, Spence. They put him in there with everybody. He was treating him like a goddamn stepchild. And I believe that there are certain guys that they don't get the red carpet treatment. 1 or 2 guys that they don't get the red carpet treatment. But for the most part, the guys that you can see that they were invested in, they told those guys, just shortcuts, bro. Nothing but shortcuts. Don't fight Crawford. Talk about Crawford. Fight Red Catch. Don't fight Crawford. Talk about Crawford. Fight Granados,
Yeah, but Jules, what I'm saying is, I want about the competitiveness of the fight. What I'm saying is, I see Canelo against Spence the same as I see Kovalev. Beterbiev against Yarde. I think fucking Canelo smokes him in 4 rounds. He's fucking fished.
Nah, because Yarde actually stands a chance. Errol doesn't.
So you think Yarde stands a chance?
Let me tell you why, Yarde. Let me tell you what.
They're in the same weight class for one.
let me tell you what it is that Yarde does. He has the right style, believe it or not. He does have the right style. What you don't have is the right experience. This guy's aggressive. You need to roll and counter. And you're fast. And like Anthony has some shit working for him. It's not a lot, but he is quick. Yeah, he's quick. And he goes to the body.
Athletic too.
And he has power, and he's younger and not as beat up as Artur. The thing is that you don't have the gas tank. You haven't fought somebody like this. You lost to an old Kovalev who had an alcohol problem. What's this son of a bitch going to do to you?
He got knocked out with a jab, mind you.
Yeah, say he got gassed out and got knocked out by a jab. Fucking, that was pathetic.
But he does have the right style, because if not that I'm confident that he has the ring savvy for this assignment, but you got to kind of let Artur lead and bait him in and counter. Let him lead. He's a pressure fighter. He's aggressive. He wants to throw. It is dangerous, but you know what's more dangerous than that? Taking it to him like Joe did. Oh, you'll just get stopped quicker if you do that.
Yeah, but Joe, we're talking about Anthony Yarde against fucking Beterbiev. This is Anthony Yarde who got beat by fucking Lyndon Arthur. Fucking hell.
With a jab.
So one jab.
Lyndon Arthur beat his ass, and we just want to say that Beterbiev might lose to him. Fucking hell.
No. I'm saying if I compare Errol versus Errol's chances against Canelo versus Yarde's chances against Artur, Yarde has a better chance against Artur than Errol. Errol has no chance, bro. You don't know.
Yeah, I know.
Mark, let me put it to you like this: Earl versus Canelo, that's a tune-up fight.
Yo, look, I'm gonna put it to you another way. Paul Butler stood a better chance against Inoue than Errol stands against.
That was 0%.
Jules, can we all give a clap to Paul Butler for his marathon? It's a great marathon. Great marathon.
Listen, man.
It's a great marathon.
Paul Butler stood a better chance against Inoue than Errol. Bro, you might as well just not come out. Quit laughing. Take a knee in the locker room. Just take a knee. Don't get up.
Wait, Jules. I thought Errol did come out.
Yeah, he came out yellow beezy, yeah. So
he came out yellow beezy, bro.
So you know what's funny? I wouldn't even entertain that entire notion because, honest to God, like I'm very pessimistic in life. I've learned to be such from my old age. I don't even see him move. I don't even see Errol moving up to 154. If I'm being dead honest with you, honest to God.
I believe he's gonna go up there because look, the Ocampo fight gave them this is what I think in the back of my head. The Ocampo fight gave them a false sense of security. Why? Errol dispatched him years ago in one round. Sebastian, he just went the distance with them. And they tell themselves that, well, look at what Errol did to the guy, not realizing Errol was a different fighter then. Ocampo was a different fighter.
Mm-hmm.
You think that because he's a little big for welter, and he's not big for welter, he's a little big for welter.
Ain't nothing
undisciplined about you at 154, though. It ain't. You're not bigger than nobody at 154. Nah.
All the belts on PBC at 154, Jules. I can't remember.
Jamel's got them all. Jamel's got them.
Jamel's got them all. But he's not fucking beating Jamal.
And Mel is not, look, Mel's not going to fight him. What they're going to do is they're going to hit the reset button. The WBC could be contested between Errol and Fundora. They tell themselves in their mind, this is what we're going to do. We're going to have Errol scoop up the green belt with Fundora. Then we'll have him go get the red one with Murtazaliev. Then maybe we'll make Castaño or Zoo for the brown one. And the BA, we might have to deal with that Madrimov guy for the BA. But we'll see what happens because that's down the line. The outcome of his last fight was a no contest. So he's really not a problem for us right now. That's what they tell themselves. And I'm saying if the Fundora fight is a real fight, not like the Ugas fight. If that's a real fight, I don't think Fundora has to hit him too many times to hurt him.
I think Fundora beats him. He's got the reach. Yeah. I think he beats him in the jab all night long.
Yo, I swear to God, bro, if Fundora starts like throwing a punch and backing off, bro, at that point, man, like I'm not even watching boxing. I'm watching WWE because that's not how Fundora fights, bro.
I'm saying you see
the
Ugas fight, bro. The dude wasn't even jabbing. He was just watch it. Don't believe me. He coming forward like that.
Man,
no jab, no nothing, no move, nothing.
I think you guys give these guys too much credit though. Like the thing with PBC fighters, it's hard to gauge their real quality because they're all in a fucking terrarium. Where they're like in an enclosed environment, so you really don't know how good they are
or could be.
Yeah, Ugas is like people talk about Ugas like he was like this huge contender because he beat Manny, but like I watched I went through all his other fights and like man, he's an average counterpuncher. Like I don't really have to believe that fight was big.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm not convinced, and I mean it, that Ugas could have beat the Butayev that beat Jamal James. I'm not convinced. The way he reacted to the Stanionis fight, you would have thought Thanos was coming for this man. He was pissed, bro. He was mad than a bitch. Like,
right. Butayev, Jamal James, how good are these guys really though? How good are these guys really? They don't test themselves.
Yeah, but I got a theory. I got a theory on why Ugas pulled back when he knocked Spence into the ropes. When he did that, he looked into the crowd and he saw Al looking at him like this.
No, he looked into the rafters because Al don't sit in the crowd. Al was in the rafters, like
okay,
just making that face.
Don't you fucking dare! Don't you fucking dare!
He saw Yellow Beezy with another guy.
I don't think anyone here was extremely high on Ugas, but I will say this: even when he fought, even though he got like, for example, one of his worst performances was against Abel Ramones, I believe.
Oh yeah, he looked bad with Abel.
Yeah, he looked bad as shit. But even there, he at least had a general understanding of a fundamental boxing.
Bro, look, he didn't look bad with Figueroa. He didn't look bad with Sean Porter. And all the things that he did in those fights, he didn't do none of them in the Spence fight.
That's what I'm saying. Like he looked like a completely different boxer. That's what I'm saying. So it's
that's what I'm alluding to.
He's a counter puncher that threw no counters in the fight.
Bro, just watch the Omar Figueroa fight, bro. He beat him from the inside out. Watch the Sean Porter fight. Sean gave Ugas more respect than he gave Errol. He didn't just jump in on Ugas the way he was with Errol because he was.
Was it Sean dropped twice? He was dropped twice.
But Omar Figueroa, he's another drunk driver though. He's another like drunk guy. Like, how good are these guys really?
I'm just saying that Ugas could throw some punches for whatever reason. With Errol, the whole fight, it was just a weird looking fight.
And we paid.
Shame on us. And I'm just saying, I'm not high on him after his win for Manny, but I was expecting him to at least, for example, I think this is just common boxing etiquette. If you see the other guy's hurt, why would you back off?
Yeah, like you should push the ref out there, like fuck out my way.
Yeah, exactly.
Never seen that ever. Once. Not once.
Weird as fuck.
Look, I have watched so many. I've seen so many Frank Warren shows, and even Frank Warren shows don't have referees aiming to separate fighters as quickly as that fight happened.
Leave Spence alone.
Did we say R.I.P. to Steve Smoger?
R.I.P. to Steve Smoger, man.
What fight off the top of your head did he piss you off in, Jules?
Steve never pissed me off, bro. He let them guys fight.
Yes, Steve never wanted camera time.
The best referee is the one you don't see. The one
Exactly.
I'm gonna go back and rewatch that B-Hop versus Cora Marat fight where he got into a dude's ass about breaking the rules. I've had enough of your shit.
Look, imagine being in a boxing match. You punch the guy so hard, his mouth retainer flies out his damn mouth, and then you back off of him afterwards.
Like, isn't that what you wanted, Yarde?
Yeah.
Isn't that what you wanted?
That's legitimate.
And look, I don't care if that was a sucker punch or nothing. Even if you got him for sucker punch, if I see I hurt you, bruh, I'm not.
You came over from Cuba on a raft. You got a girl. She has a big fucking ass. It's really nice.
Now, that ass is nice.
Now, wait. Now, your eyebrows fell out. You ain't got a hairline. This is the fight. This is the fight of your life. The fight of your life. And you hurt the guy. No, and you pull back like, oh shit, I wasn't supposed to do that. Sorry, Errol. Sorry.
Shout out to the IG model Isan with the super chat.
Shout out to my man with the Batman eyebrows. Yeah, I mean, my man East on Rhode Island profiling.
Now, in honor of Steve Smoger, I'm gonna go watch Kelly Pavlik, Jermaine Taylor, because he let that fight fucking go.
Let that fight go. He could have stopped it. Yo, Pavlik, look, he could have waved it off after Pavlik got dropped. Oh, he let him fight. Let him fight.
And Pavlik went on to knock his ass out.
Honestly, I think that's a fault of current day referees, man. The moment that they actually stop boxing, they just start separating it.
The stoppages are too quick.
I ain't even
he said Elon Musk. Elon instead of Elon, it's Elon Musk. I dig it.
Fuck Elon Musk. He just give me a 7-day ban to come. He can fuck off.
But really though, like it was that fight. Honest to God, and it's not. Oh, you just hate. No, I'm being serious. That was a weird looking fight. That was
bro. It smelled Frank Warren show, bro. Bro, it smelled Frank Warren show. It wasn't even a Frank Warren show.
Yeah, bro, are you trying to fight the guy or not, bro? You don't even have eyebrows.
Every outfit has been caught fixing fights.
Yeah.
Jules, I've got an apology.
King, Bob Arum, Golden Boy got into some shit.
Bro, they gave Canelo 115, 113 for Beagle.
Sean Gibbons.
114, 114 for Mayweather.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, I've got an apology. I've got an apology, and I've got to ask for forgiveness from the whole panel. I am actually flying to India in 6 days, and there is no pay-per-view in India. So I'm taking my IPTV, and I'm going to be team screen for 3 months. I apologize.
No,
I always pay for my pay-per-view.
You got to do what you got to do,
I always pay for my pay-per-view.
No. Remember, you going to be in India. You're not stealing because you in fucking India. They're not even making it available to you. You in India.
You got no choice, bro. You got no choice.
Oh, good. Don't sweat it.
Do what you got to do.
I always pay for my shit, and I don't like being a bum. But I've got to take my IPTV.
That's a whole different. If you in a different country where it's not even available, you don't have a choice. That's the only way you can see the fight. Right. So I ain't mad at that. But really, the other thing is, what pay-per-views we talking about? Because the only one who's going to be on pay-per-view, who, Javante? Fuck him, right?
Bye.
Hey, honestly, I can't say that because I actually am interested to see the Hector Garcia fight.
I said it. It's not a bad fight. But when Bob is talking about giving you Lomachenko versus Haney on regular ESPN, that's what make you look like, wait a minute, this is 80 what? And I'm getting
is the zoo fight not pay-per-view then?
It's pay-per-view in Australia, but not everywhere else. That's not going to be pay-per-view here, I don't think.
I'll tell you what's messing me up is because when I go to India, I'm 6 hours in front of the UK, so the US shows I'll get early morning, but the UK shows will be fucked because it'll be fucking middle of the night.
Yeah, those shows is gonna be fucked, but the US shows, it's morning boxing. If you talking about US, that's morning boxing. Like how we watch Japanese shit in the morning, you're gonna see American shit in the morning. But
they don't put Jamel's fights on pay-per-view. So
they don't put the only time he was on pay-per-view was 2020. That's it.
The doubleheader, and that's it. That's all.
Yeah, that was it. Hey, I don't think the zoo fight gonna be in Australia on Foxtel. It's going to be a pay-per-view. I'm sure of that.
Which makes sense.
But not here.
Not here, us in the States.
Hey, Jules, can I ask a question? I know a few of the guys.
No. First, are we going to see Jamal Charlo before Canelo, or is he going to be on Spence's undercard?
Yo, my God, when is that man fighting for real?
Bro, and when is he going to satiate his mandatory?
I got the feeling they're going to do him like that and put him on a Spence undercard.
They might on some Texas ho shit. Like, oh yeah, I'm on Spencer's undercard. Yeah, like they might do that.
Hey,
but doesn't that mean that he's not fighting till June?
Oh Lord! Are they really going to try to roll out Sulecki and Spence on a Showtime?
Oh my God! Yo, my God!
Dude, that's once in 2 years.
Wait! The last time he fought was summer of 2021.
21.
If he come back in June,
Who cares, man?
Hey,
Who cares, bro?
Look, honest to God, and then people have the audacity to say that Canelo's ducking him.
Nah, but I just remembered that I was told by a very credible source that the Sulietsky fight is made. I was told that.
Is that pay per view?
Now, when is the question? But I was told that fight was made, that they redid it and they're going to do it.
Is it confirmed pay per view?
But Ivo, let me retort to you right quick. Ivo, let me retort to you right quick. But like, bro, we all know that after Charlo and Montiel, Canelo didn't want that smoke, bro. Come on.
I mean, what was up with the Mel versus Zoom conference? I mean, no, I like Mel.
They can't promote. That's what it is.
Probably the only PBC fighter that I like is Mel. That's it. Like, just Mel. And the reason I like Mel is, like I said, he had the same opportunity that Leo Santa Cruz had once. That, look, it's a champion here. You want to unify? Leo didn't want to do it. And when the belt went from Gary to Mixayo to Ray, same shit. Leo, do you want to unify? No, you still ain't do it. You see what I mean? Thurman had the opportunity to fight Spence years ago. He didn't do it. Motherfucking Benavidez had the opportunity to fight Plant years ago for the belts. He didn't do it. And that's why I fuck with Mel. That, yeah, the belts was there. The opportunity is there. So he did what he had to do. So I respect it. Like, he's the only PBC fighter that I like. That's really it.
They didn't want to go to Dubai.
Well, here's the...
Didn't want to go to Dubai, baby.
Well, the reality is there's only one Charlo, and his name is Mel, and he fights at 154 because the other one is not a boxer. He's actually a serial drunkard.
Yeah, that dude, like that other Charlo guy, Gerbil. Fuck him, bro.
Jebediah. I believe his name is Jebediah Charlo.
Jebediah.
The moment he got humiliated in Denny's, he jumped the shark.
No, look. The moment you had to hide behind a security guard in front of David Benavidez is the moment
I got a question for Ivo. I have a question.
That's nasty.
Ivo, would you want to see a guy that had to hide behind security? Do you even want to see that guy fight?
I want. Okay, so let me respond. I want to see him lose. Does that count?
Like, bro, you legit went behind the security guard, bro. No, I don't want to see you fight. Bro.
I want to see him lose. Now I know I don't wish negativity. I don't wish negativity upon anyone. But honest to God, I really want to see him lose. I really want to see David lose.
I'm gonna tell you what it do, bro. I'm gonna tell you what it do. Jermel is gonna have forget as far as a PBC fighter, he's gonna have a good resume because what I see is Maul is gonna move up. They may entertain Maul versus Andrade once he gets there. Whatever, right? Just whatever with that.
Yeah, that irrelevant fight.
Right? But when Mel moves up to 160, you know who he's gonna fight? Carlos Adames. That's a fight.
Yeah.
That's a fight. That's a good fight.
Honestly, you know the fight I want to see at 160? Honestly, well, first off, I want Triple G to retire because God knows he needs to. But I would love to see Jermel versus what's his name? I want to see him versus Yanni-Bek just because I think Jermel and that fight.
He can win, bro. He can win.
Now, hear me out. Honest to God, I think Jermel is good enough that if he moves up to 160, he could be an undisputed champion in 2 weight divisions. Honest to God.
Can I say this? Let me say this. No. I'm gonna tell you why he might be on to something. Who there? Munguia? He could beat Munguia. Berlanga?
Fight longer.
Danny Garcia?
He can't beat Danny Garcia.
Are we sure?
For some reason, they have him in the 160 rankings. Did y'all know that?
Because he wants to fight Lara, bro. Like, that's
He beat Janabak. He beat Janabak. Janabak's fucking shit.
He's fighting Lara?
But that's another name. You think he would lose to Lara?
Yeah, but
exactly.
Look, hold on. This is the thing. Remember 2 things. Danny was never fast. I don't know who named him Swift. Honestly, I don't know why. But he was never fast. 2, he wasn't that big a puncher at welter. He's not that big a puncher at junior middle. You think he's going to be a big puncher at middle?
You misheard me. I meant Jermel. If he moves up, you think he's going to lose to Lara? No, I don't see that happening. I really don't.
Lara may be old enough and degraded
enough.
But always remember that Lara has had the right style for the Charlos, but what's left of him, bro? He barely fights.
Bro, he's holding on by God's graces.
For real, like, what's left of Lara, bro? Like, he really don't be fighting, and when he do fight, it Cornflake. That's the guy's. Where'd y'all find this guy? Cornflake, Lamana.
Guys,
that's the first time I ever seen somebody get knocked out to the collarbone,
bro. Where he punched him in the shoulder.
So again, so with all of this,
that's not bad, bro. Watch the fight. He punched him in the shoulder.
So again, with all of this in mind, so is it really that unrealistic to see Jermell move up and become undisputed? Because I can see it. Like, for example, what other names we got? We got Chris Eubank Jr. because I know he's ranked number 7. I'd see him beating him. Carlos Adames, I could see that'd be a good fight. Falco. Falco.
Cal about to lose to Golovkin, bro.
Exactly. So realistically speaking, like the top 10 names are
Munguia, Eubank.
I'm not sure he beats Munguia, bro. To be honest with you.
I don't know, bro. But I'll tell you what.
I don't think he
this is. Let me say this. Munguia and Brian.
Like Munguia.
Wait. Munguia and Brian have the same base style. They're both pressure fighters. They're both mid-range to inside pressure fighters. I'll say that I think Munguia is stronger to the punch than Castaño. But you got to understand, bro, that he really beat the shit out of Castaño, bro. It's hard to beat the shit out of It's hard to beat the shit out of an Argentinian fighter. He broke him down, bro.
Oh, here's an example of 160 and why I believe Charlo has potential. Because, again, in the WBA, top 5, we have Sergio Martinez.
Oh, can you believe that shit?
Bro, I didn't even know he was still alive.
That's too much, bro. That's too much.
Oh, he's like 70.
Bro, he has a top 5 rank with the BA, bro.
How?
So that's what I'm saying. Like, honest to God, this is just testament to how shitty the 160 division is right now.
160 is the only division worse than welterweight.
What about Hamza Shiraz?
Hamza Shiraz, he's not because he's not far along enough yet. He's
Shane Mosley Jr.
He's prospect level at most. It'll be another 3-4 years before things get interesting for him. Virtuoso says Lara should fight Golovkin, AK Captain Punch. I'm not against that fight, but if I'm Golovkin and I'm like 40 whatever, right, bro? Why would I fight Lara when I could fight Munguia for the bread?
Hey,
common sense.
Read Eason's super chat and ask
what about
him
Felix Cash?
Ask him which fighter has Jaime beat.
Bro, I'm sorry, Eson, but I don't see that.
Based on what?
He's not that good. I mean, like, we're all picking a guy who got outboxed by Jim Kelly for 4 rounds.
Jamie Kelly guy was outboxing him, bro.
Bro, for 4 rounds he schooled his ass.
For real, schooled him too. Like all of that.
So honest to God, unless Jermell falls into a pitfall like his brother Jermall at 160, I don't see why he can't get unified or undisputed.
Let me get the J.
Well, they don't control that. The PBC doesn't control that.
Wait. If he has power, then why did Ivan Redcatch go 12 rounds with him?
Hello.
Why do you
move up and fight another welterweight?
Well,
he went to 154 to fight another welterweight, a natural welterweight.
What power did he got? Like, bro, Ivan Redcatch went 12 rounds with you. He was faking nut shots with Regis at 140.
Ivan Redcatch is a killer, though. So you got to give him some credit.
Well, first off, Jaime has no right being up there, and at the same way, I don't think Danny should be at 160, but in that same breath, I don't think Jaime should be at 160 because that's a 168-pounder bursting at the seams right there.
I agree with that.
I'm going to go to one so far to say is I don't think Danny should be in boxing anymore. How about that?
Bro, he should make more suits is what he should do.
Okay.
I think he should restart his rap career.
Here's the beauty of what Charlo could do. If he sees Charlo, if he moves up, he's undisputed. He can use the WBO to go get that Ali Lama.
But you know he's not. Like,
I know. Look, I know, but
and I'll be honest with you. There's a nuance to it. Yanni Beck has been looking progressively worse. Carlos has been looking progressively better. Carlos is shit.
I I watched him fight quite a bit when he was on Top Rank, and against it was lower level competition, but he always looked really, really good against everybody he fought.
So here's the
I know him from being the star of a YouTube video of Crawford beating him up.
Polo, cut the shit, bro. You're not supposed to be losing fucking rounds to Jimmy Kelly, bro. You're not, bro.
Why did he knock him out sooner then? Why did it take him
cut the shit, bro. Like, nah, like Jaime. Yo, I can't think of a fighter more protected, right? Like Jaime.
Who's the last guy he fought? What's the?
I don't even know where they found that guy. Did they pull him from the audience?
Who's more protected?
That guy?
Who's more protected than him?
Wasn't his last fight against what was his name again? Fucking
like
Gonzalez or something?
They got a guy who was in the concession box. They pulled him out of there.
Yanni Beck has a resume padded with people who have a worse resume than Chisora, bro. They got double-digit losses.
Nah, because I gotta give Yanni Beck this. Okay, I'll give him this. Rob Brandt.
Munguia.
Rob Brandt. Rob Brandt. That was a good scalp for Yanni Beck because Yanni Beck made him quit.
I was talking about Jaime.
Oh, Jaime.
Sorry, did I say Yanni Beck?
The best name on Jaime's resume is Liam Smith.
Yes.
And he has like 77 fights too, and they're
here's my counterpoint. That was 4 years ago.
And he has 40 fights.
Yeah, exactly.
He's trying to beat Floyd's record, man. Let him beat.
I mean,
fellas, I hate to tell you this. It's like now that Zerto has lost, they're gonna do anything at all costs to make sure Jaime gets to 50-0.
Bro,
wait. But was he more protected than Wilder?
That's a good
yes.
one. No. Wait a minute now. Wilder was protected for 7 years. Well, really, his whole career.
His whole career, yeah.
But I'll be fair. I'll just 7 years.
To me, like they're on par with each other, kind of. You know.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, I mean, here's my
Jaime
counterpoint.
only ever held the belt once. Wilder only ever held the belt once. Wilder has 40 fights of absolutely nothing. Jaime has. Yeah.
Okay. Question, Jules. Would you say that Luis Ortiz is a worse win than Liam Smith?
I would say that. Nah,
that's a better win.
No. Liam Smith is a better win because he did at some point in his career. He was a champion.
Yeah, he's a world champion.
Yeah. Plus, that win his age very well. Look what Liam Smith has gone on to do since. And you know what I mean? So
yeah, like no, compare it to bro Luis Ortiz. Understand me when I say that Luis Ortiz beat no one.
It was never a champion. He was never a champion.
Well, here's my counterpoint. You know, big fish, little pond. Checkmate.
Luis?
Exactly, big fish. You know, big fish on heart medication, little pond.
Listen, bro, that dude didn't beat shit, bro. His best win.
Brian Jennings.
And that's after Klitschko beat him the same year that Klitschko beat him.
It was a gatekeeper beat a gatekeeper. That's what happened.
Luis Ortiz, and it's worse now because people are forgetting Luis lost to Andy.
He got knocked down like 5 times in that fight.
Jules, come on.
I think Troy Isley could beat Munguia today, and he has 8 pro fights.
Charles Barton came close to beating Ortiz. Let's be real until he landed that.
Let's be fair. Luis Ortiz did absolutely batter Dave Allen. It made him stop in 10 rounds. And Dave Allen was a killer. Come on.
Well, yeah, you're right. Dave Allen.
Dave Allen's 7 years old.
Right. That's when that's what I often think. And that's one of the few times, remember, Luis Ortiz left the island for that Dave Allen fight. And it kind of exposed something to like, yo, you really only look good on PBC shows. You didn't look good over there at Matchroom. You didn't look good over there at Matchroom.
Did he fight
Jules, I don't know what Americans know about Dave Allen, but he's never won an era title, a
bro,
brass
you
title.
think I don't know about the White Rhino? I know all about the White Rhino.
What I'm saying is, like, a lot of Americans don't know fuck all. He's never won a title. He's never won a title. He's bang average. He never trained. He's a lazy bastard. He admitted he went into that Ortiz fight on 2 weeks training. And the only reason he quit is because he had a fucking tongue that was swollen up.
Well,
he said he got suckle punches.
Going 10 rounds with you, and you supposed to be the boogie oogie man. Boogie oogie.
Exactly.
But here's why I know Wilder has a better resume. He beat Spilka.
Oh,
yeah.
And he beat Malik Scott in a phantom punch that aimed towards Kentucky.
Nobody beats Malik Scott.
You mean his trainer?
Exactly. Now, mind you, he also had the honor of fighting Dominic Braziel.
Braziel?
Yeah. And Stavern twice, I think.
Stavern. Yo, bro, that dude resume is so shit, bro. And they try so hard. They prop it up. I want to say that all Wilder has, and I'm being real, all he has is that he won a title, to be real. Because when I think of Povetkin's resume,
don't compare that resume.
No, being real, like Povetkin fought people, bro. Pulev fought
that's
people.
disrespectful to
Jules, actually, I'd rectify that. I think that's wrong. I don't think winning the title is his best achievement because he won it against a fucking dog shit opponent. I think Wilder's best achievement is a draw against Fury.
Except we know it's not really a draw, though.
Yeah, but he's got it on his record. He fought fucking a dog shit opponent and won on points to win his title.
Bro, his fucking record, his fucking record is ass, bro. It is though, really though, it's really.
Dude, it's probably one of the worst.
It's
probably one of the worst heavyweight resumes of all time.
Bro, Spilka, what are his title defenses? Spilka, Molina,
Jaron Washington,
Brazil, bro, these is
Areola.
Areola,
he's on there.
There was Johan. There was Johan
Duhaupas.
Johan Duhaupas. Bro, listen, this is how backwards Wilder is, right? Who gave Robert Helenius his first loss?
Derek Chisora.
Not really. I know what you mean, but no. Who gave him his
Duhaupas?
Duhaupas, right? Now, who did he fight first? Wilder.
Duhaupas.
Keep in mind, he ended up fighting 6 years later.
No, 7, because Duhaupas was in 2015.
He's still fighting Klitschko era heavyweights, and he's a Klitschko era heavyweight.
Helenius.
This is what I mean. Look, if you wanted to talk about the upper crust of the Klitschko era, that was your Pulev, that was your Povetkin, to some degree Takam, because Takam was always a handful. Even if he loses, he'll make you look bad. And those were kind of like the upper crust guys. And yeah, you got to put Derek in there because Derek fought a lot of fucking people.
Well, Samuel Peter,
you got to put him in there.
Tony Thompson.
I'll say, yeah, but Tony was really fucking old. So
I know.
We're going. If we're gonna say Tony Thompson, we got to go way back.
All right, fair enough.
But
Eddie Chambers,
Calvin Brock, guys like that. And when you think about bro, you've been here since 2008. Who the fuck have you been fighting, bro?
Yeah, but
his biggest win before he got the belt was Audley Harrison.
He's the biggest He's the biggest puncher in the heavyweight division of all time. Look who he's knocked out. These big fucking stars.
And it's you got to be selling that dream to people that really don't watch boxing, because they're the only ones that'll believe it. Anybody that watches boxing would know, fam, this man fought no one. No, you didn't fight shit, bro.
I already started watching him circa 2018, 2019 when the Fury fights happened. That's it.
Bro, people have this motherfucker, bro, this bronze blunder had the audacity to say that it don't matter about the belts. The green belt's the only one that matters. Big fish,
it's the most precious.
It's the most prestigious.
And you know what's crazy? This dude
$100 million.
He cherry picked Fury, and I think he's about to make the same mistake again with Joshua. And I think they think that Joshua's Joshua's vulnerable, and I think he's gonna run into a brick wall again.
No, he's fighting Ruiz. He's already in training. He's fighting Ruiz.
You know that for a fact?
Joshua's not. Yeah. Go to his Instagram.
Okay.
He's back in training. Joshua's not next because they already said that they already threw the names out there that might be Joshua's next opponents. Yada yada yada. It's not going to be Wilder next. And Wilder is back in training. He posted a training video to his Instagram. It's going to be Ruiz. And all I'm saying, like I said, I've said this more than once. yeah, it's possible that he stops Ruiz because Ruiz has slow feet. But if Ruiz gets inside, he's in trouble. He's in big, big fucking trouble. I'm telling you. And the other thing is, I also see an Isaac Cruz scenario. If you land the right and you don't take him out and you break that hand, you're in trouble.
And people got to take into account Wilder's injury prone too.
He is. He has a break every other fucking fight.
Exactly.
If Wilder were to lose to Andy Ruiz, Fury resume is garbage. I don't give a shit. All you got, bro, you got two things, bro. Really three? Because I fuck with Derek. But you really got two. That you ended the reign of, which I give him credit for. You did end the reign of Vladimir Klitschko. That's noteworthy. And that you took Wilder's O. But if Wilder loses to Andy,
over the hill, Andy. Because honest to God, Andy hasn't been the same since.
No, his punch resistance is gone, isn't it?
Can we count Dylan White?
No, we can't say that about Andy. Andy got hit by Areola because Eddie was trying to turn him into an Instagram model. He finally, I don't think he got it from me. I think he knew, but I knew. You fat, bro. Stay fat. You're not meant to be skinny. As people, they're not meant to be skinny. You tried to get skinny, and that made you weaker. In the Areola fight, it made you weaker. You supposed to be fat. You a great fat fighter of the great fat fighters. Stay fat.
So Jules, you and I, Mark, I'm gonna cut you off on this one just for a second.
Yeah, go on, mate. Go on.
We talked about this beforehand. Look, when you fat, you got that stocky neck. That's your insulator.
Shock
right there,
absorber.
Man.
That's your
insulator.
Absorber.
Damn straight, man. When you became skinny, bro, your head looked like a bobblehead, bro.
Yo, took the work because I noticed that his neck. See, y'all know what knocks a person out is the G-force. The head moves one way as a result of the punch, but the brain on the inside moves the other way. So you get knocked out. And Andy's neck was thin or thinner than usual, and that means when he get hit, that brain gonna jostle. But when he got that turkey neck, that shock absorber, oh, he good to go, B. He straight left hands and all of that. He good. He is supposed to be fat.
Bro, it's like imagine if Butterbean was skinny, bro. Like we couldn't call him Butterbean then. He'd just be Bean.
We couldn't call him Butterbean. I don't know what we call him, bro.
Call him Bean.
Speaking of Butterbean, does anybody remember when he knocked out Bret Hart? Oh, that was fucked up.
Oh my God. Remember when he knocked out Johnny Knoxville?
Mind you, I see Wilder beating Ruiz, but on that off chance that this is all bullshit and Ruiz doesn't get knocked out, oh my goodness, this is going to be such an entertaining.
You know what? It's not because most of Wilder fans are gone. I would rather see Spence lose than Wilder. Most of Wilder's fans are gone, bro. He did only 77,000 on pay-per-view.
Look, I'm a petty motherfucker, bro. I remember that like those 4 years of just his fans shit talking Joshua. So like honestly, even though this would be a minor win, I would feel good. I'm a very petty person.
No, I'd still feel really good. I'd feel good. Like I would feel good. But
I remember those guys.
I might have to change my pants if Spence loses, or Davis. I might have to change my pants.
Jules, I'm calling it right now. 2023, Keith Thurman, once upon a time, comes back and knocks out Spence. Let's do it, guys. Come on.
Oh, God.
Guys, I've just got to say this, right? I mean, I know there's a lot of guys on this panel in their 30s, 40s, or whatever. I've been watching boxing since 88, 89 live, yeah? And Deontay Wilder is an ex-world heavyweight champion. Can you imagine if he was boxing in the 80s or early 90s?
No.
And that fucker is twerking.
Bro, he's another Michael Grant.
Talking about fucking heavy suits and talking about getting drugged by his trainer and this and that. He would have been fucking run out of this fucking town. What a fucking joke. What a fucking joke.
Mark, can I say something?
He'd be a solid steamer opponent.
Mark, let me say something in response to you. So you know how Deontay Wilder's record is 43 and 2 losses, all right, and 1 draw. Let's flip that around. If he was in the 80s, he would have 2 wins and 43 losses.
Exactly. There you go.
And that is the God's honest truth.
But Jules, like I just want to you mentioned Michael Grant. Like shout out to Beats because he pointed out something in one of his past videos. He said at least Michael Grant he had the heart to fight for a fucking undisputed.
Yeah,
like Deontay Wilder.
Wilder's whole thing, and this is the wildest part, right? Because this is literally the blueprint. The majority of the soft matchmaking in Wilder's career, you can thank Golden Boy for that. What you see with Jaime Munguia is what you basically see with Wilder. That's essentially what they would. It's the same thing. That's why the resumes are similar. You know that he
has Tawks, the Shannon Grays of the world.
Exactly, like it's the same kind of matchmaking. And you know when he got with Heyman, that's when Heyman got him to the belt. Basically, you know he got him. By the time he fought for the WBC, he was with Heyman. But the matchmaking didn't really get any better. And interest in Wilder did not peak until the Giant from Watford came around.
You used AJ's name to literally.
Bingo.
Exactly. Yes.
Bingo.
Yes.
Bro,
Promotion,
you've been around, think about it. You've been around since 2008. You've been around since 2008. How they just now getting around to you in 2017, bro? 2016.
Jules, I'll be honest, yeah. Like I say, I've been watching boxing since '89, and I didn't even hear of Deontay Wilder till like 2016, 17. I didn't even know who he fucking was.
Bro, I'll tell you what, I was hearing about him before 2015. I was hearing about him, and I kept hearing the same thing. He's tall and he hit hard, but he can't box. That's what everybody was. He tall and he hit hard, but he can't box, and he just like when people would bring his name up next to Klitschko, they're like, nah, Klitschko beat him, bro. Klitschko beat him.
Bro, Klitschko's jab would just keep him away for the entire fight, bro.
Mm-hmm. Didn't Klitschko whip his ass several times in sparring?
I heard
about that. I heard about that.
Twitching. Yeah,
that would explain why they kept his ass away from Klitschko.
Well, Shelly knew better.
I'd fucking love him to fight Joe Joyce. Can you imagine if he hit Joe Joyce on the chin and he smiled at him and just started jabbing his face off?
I'm gonna tell you.
You know,
let me answer this. I'm gonna tell you why I don't believe you, Daniel, and this is why. Most people tend to forget that when Deontay Wilder fought Bermane Stiverne the first time, he didn't knock him out. He didn't knock him out, and that is one of now. Pay attention to this. Wilder has only fought a top 10 fighter 3 times in his career. He only did it 3 times in 40-something fights. One was Stiverne, one was Ortiz, and the other was Fury. And notice that the power, like, okay, you knocked out Luis Ortiz, okay. And you did drop Fury, but Nevin Pajcik dropped Fury. Stephen Cunningham dropped Fury, so, I mean, that don't really say much.
Warrington made Fury look like he went through hell.
How is AJ overrated? What the fuck?
That's a Fury fan, bro. I could tell. That's
either Wilder or Fury fan.
All I'm saying is you not all I could tell you is what I think. You could believe what you like because I'm gonna believe what I like. And you're not gonna sell me that Wilder knocks everybody out because bro, you couldn't knock out Stiverne. And you was hitting him, but you didn't knock him out. And Demetrius King had already knocked him out. Who's Demetrius King? Exactly. Who the fuck is Demetrius King?
I mean, AJ's overrated, but he's
exactly. He had the distance with Stiverne to win the fucking title when Stiverne is dog shit. End of story.
You want to know when I stopped liking Wilder as not even Wilder, just like that entire conglomerate of fighters. It was around the time when they met, right after AJ signed that exclusivity deal, and they quote unquote said, "Yeah, we sent him an offer through some fucking email on some third party bullshit website on Tinder." But you're trying, Grindr. But you're trying to tell me that you wanted that fight.
Probably was Grindr with fucking Wilder's fucking shaking his ass.
Bro. Deontay Wilder is the first heavyweight champion to be caught on camera twerking.
Bro, I'm just like, look, Daniel gonna believe what he believe, and that's cool. But I know that what I'm saying, you can look it up, bro. Everything it's not just opinion on opinion, it's a fact. You fought Stiverne in 2015 when he was still a top 10 fighter, and you couldn't knock him out. It's not that you weren't hitting him. No, he was landing. He did beat Stiverne, but you couldn't knock him out. And this is a Stiverne that had already been knocked out by Demetrius King. No, you couldn't knock out Stiverne until he was inactive for 2 years. He had fought nobody. Then you could knock him out. That told me I needed to know.
The fellas, can anybody think of a heavyweight champion who admitted publicly that he wanted to get pregnant?
Exactly. I was going to ask the question. I mean, I'm the only Brit on this panel.
He said he has some good pussy. That's what he said.
I'm the only Brit on this panel. Can you be honest with me? Yeah, be objective. Don't be like anti-Wilder or fucking anything. But to the real boxing fans in the USA, are the Wilder antics over the last 3-4 years embarrassing to the real boxing fans in the USA.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay, so I'll tell you what, personally, it's a vocal minority, dude. It applies to every group. It's always like that 15 people, not 15, but like that couple 100,000, whatever number, who aren't going to, like, they don't represent the market, because if they did, Wilder would have the same number as AJ in terms of pay-per-view buys. So they're irrelevant.
The internet is deceiving, bro. If you on Twitter, or if you on Facebook, or if you even here on YouTube, you would really think that Wilder is like Julio Iglesias or some shit out here. And nah, fam, like, no, he not. Like, they don't even, bro, motherfuckers don't fuck with him like that.
75K.
In a country that has 339 million people, bro.
That's not even point that, bro. There's so many zeros in front of, like, there's so many .0s in front of that fucking one that it's just embarrassing.
And in the UK, you've got 85 million, and AJ did 1.2, 1.4 with Klitschko with 85 million.
Like it's not the way that it looks on Twitter. That on Twitter, for example, you don't really have to look far to find someone that would defend Wilder, and just on the internet in general, you don't have to look too far. But in the real world, where you need real money to buy shit and do things.
They know where to be found. They know where to be found.
Look, even before do you remember, Jules? Because that's when I started watching your channel. It was around that time. You remember how bad, like how vocal that the Wilder fandom was. It was practically as vocal as the Spence fandom was. But the reality was, look at his pay-per-view numbers from him back then. Like, he was never anywhere near AJ. He wasn't even doing half of what AJ was doing.
Ortiz numbers. The Ortiz numbers for the second fight was only 200,000 and change, and that was at the height of his popularity.
And what was his guarantee for that fight?
Exactly.
They overpaid for that. They did. Fox overpaid for that, and that's.
But Jules,
that's a part of the reason. That's a part of the reason why they regretted. They thought that Wilder was going to be all this. They didn't know boxing. Like, Bill Wenger didn't know boxing, and he really thought, "Wow, we got the PBC, we got Spence, we got Wilder," and all they did was spend your money and they get you shit, bro.
Yeah, but the problem is, Jules, pay-per-view's dead in the USA because everyone's streaming, but Canelo can do 1 million on fucking DAZN, which is an app that nobody watches.
Mark, so here's the point. Here's what you're trying to segue into. You want to know who's stealing the fights? It's not the casual fandom, bro. It's the fucking hardcore fandom, because they go out of their way to do this shit. The casuals will pay 1, 2, 3 fights a year.
Exactly.
It's the fucking hardcore fandom that's ripping their own off. When you got fighters publicly coming out saying, "Oh yeah, I stream my own like contemporaries fights," like, that is a very bad look.
It's the same guys that we end up arguing with on social media. Those are the guys that are stealing Wilder's fights.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I do honestly believe, though, that in today's economy, especially even in the US, you guys are hurting as well. I do honestly believe that the price point in the USA is hurting the pay-per-view. The price you pay is fucking ridiculous.
Look,
ridiculous.
It's a matter of oversaturation in addition to low quality. When you have $80 for Ruiz versus Ortiz, when you have $80 for Helenius versus Wilder, it's like, obviously, like, no one wants those fights. Especially when you have in that same contemporary, you have an undisputed fight for free.
Exactly. Like at the end of the day, it's quality control. That if a fight is good, if you're a consumer, and you have some disposable income, and say it's a really good fight, like a Joshua versus Wilder, or a Fury versus Joshua, or a Fury versus Usyk, you don't want to have to deal with a laggy stream. You want to be able to enjoy the fight, because that's a real box office fight.
But Jules, let me give you an example. Yeah, this is how much more harsh we are in the UK. Yeah, you've got Chris Eubank Jr. against Smith in January 17th, yeah, that's pay-per-view, and you've got people in the UK moaning that that's on pay-per-view because there's no title on the line, yeah, but it's a competitive fight, and they're going to be paying 20 quid for it, which is $25.
That's actually a good card.
And people are kicking off about it.
You guys are spoiled.
But you're paying $80 in the US for fights
and I'm telling you,
not even competitive.
Listen to me. I'm telling you, even with an $80 price point or a $75 price point, if it's a real box office fight, we don't notice it, but it has to be a real box office fight. And the problem is that the market has been oversaturated with undercard fights. Those are fucking Ruiz versus Ortiz is a co-main event at best.
Bro,
it's a co-main
not
event.
Not even close, man.
It's not a main event.
Bro, a
Look,
couple of years ago,
versus Martin.
Here's another example. That's what I was going to say. That Martin versus Rivera. It's not that it's a bad fight. It's that that's not a main event. They don't have fans. Why are they the headliner? They don't have fans. Nobody knows these guys. How the fuck are they the main attraction?
So there's a solution to this. Lower the price point. For example, for these ugly pay-per-view fights, lower it from 80 to 20. And just lower the price point.
Make some of them free. You got to make some of them free.
That's to make them 10. Forget 20, 10.
Exactly. You should pay me to watch some of them shits.
Wait, I got a question. So
unfortunately, they won't be able to cover the costs, man.
Second point. Don't overpay the fighters. Don't pay them millions of dollars if you know they're going to generate like 100,000 pay-per-view buys. It's common sense.
But they know their market. That's the thing. I mean, sometimes you get a pay-per-view in the USA, which is $75, $80, and we get it in the UK on Fight TV. They charge us like 15 quid.
Yeah, around
15 quid.
But I'll tell you where Showtime. I'll tell you where Showtime went wrong, and I don't often say this. More often than not, the network, the broadcaster, they have the power because they're the ones giving you the budget. Where Showtime is backwards is that Stephan takes his marching orders from Al, when in reality it's supposed to be Stephan. It's supposed to be Al taking his marching orders from Stephan.
How the hell does that work?
Yeah.
I'll tell you why. The network itself, they know what the numbers are, they know what fights are doing, and they know what's in their own best interests. But Showtime, unlike DAZN and unlike ESPN, in spite of seeing that, the numbers are down, they're gradually going down every single year, you still let Al have the run of the place. You still let Al do things how he wants to do them on his schedule, when in reality, it's not good for your network, bro. The shit he's doing, it don't make sense. Reality, you should have got Leo Santa Cruz versus Gary Russell years ago as a main event because it's a unification match, but not for an obscene amount of money. Bro, look, here's $1 million for you and $1 million for you, $2 million. Back then, you could have afforded that. Back then, you gave Wilder $14 million for fucking Luis Ortiz.
They gave him that much?
Brazil.
Wasn't it 20? I thought it was 20.
No. The Zone offered him 20 to do the Brazil fight on their platform.
Right.
Showtime had to come up with a care package, like, we know you rejected the 20, so we're going to give you something. And Stephan Espinoza said at the Keith Idec then, we didn't give him 20, but it's in that neighborhood. So it could be anywhere in between 14 and 15, whatever. The point is, you frittered away money letting Al tell you what to do. And Al's not looking out for you. He's looking out for Al. He's not looking out for your network. He's looking out for Al. First and foremost, if it comes down to him or you, it's going to be him. And the relationship at Showtime is backwards. And that's why they dug themselves into a rut. Because you were supposed to look at those viewing figures and say, Al, something needs to change fast.
Jules, hand on heart, right? With the way the boxing is going in the US with the pay-per-views and the way they're dropping, can you tell me a PBC fight without bringing in an outside opponent from another network, a PBC fight you could make now that would break 500,000 pay-per-view buys?
Ryan Garcia.
Davis.
Garcia Davis. You think that does? What do you think that does?
That's the only one, though. That's the only one.
So, case in point, Spence versus Crawford. Don't anyone say it's $1 million pay-per-view because it's not.
No.
We all know deep down.
I think it's 400,000.
It doesn't even.
Honestly, I don't see.
350,
honest to God, I see 300 max. Honest to God,
350.
And you could say, like, one example is, here's an example. You could say Joshua versus Wilder could do very good at the box office in America, but in reality, the American market is so unstable. You're better off not using Showtime. Why? The majority of Showtime subscribers are not boxing fans, but the majority of DAZN subscribers are boxing fans. Mm-hmm. It's not as big. It's not as big. Pay attention. It's not as big as Showtime in terms. Showtime has a total of about 33 to 35 million subscribers. But out of those 30 to 35 million subscribers, less than 1% watch boxing. Whereas DAZN might have anywhere in between 7 to 8 million subscribers. But most of those subscribers, if not all of them, are boxing fans.
Jules, you know why? Because DAZN is a sports app. Showtime isn't.
Exactly.
That
Most
fight in the
people
UK.
that watch Showtime watch it for TV shows, not sports.
Jules, that fight in the UK on DAZN, Wilder versus AJ, would do 800 to 1 million buys easy.
I'm telling you on DAZN because it's a global streaming platform. Like, let's say DAZN played it this way, right? Let's just
just in the UK. I'm talking about.
No. Let me do this. If DAZN were to do this, right? Let's say, all right, perfect world. Wilder goes to DAZN. He doesn't pose a problem. They do the fight. I would bill that as a pay-per-view in Canada. I would bill it as a pay-per-view in America. I would bill it as a pay-per-view in the UK. And I promise you, you are going to sell a fuck ton of pay-per-views with that thing in all of those markets. A fuck ton. Now, what I would do, however, is play with the price point. In Canada, I'm not going to charge people $80. No, I'll charge them $50, maybe $40 to make it enticing.
Do the Denji thing.
Exactly, because he sold close to 500,000 pay-per-views, which is
good.
Exactly. So
you've got to know your market, Jules. Like you say, in the UK, you could only charge like 29, 30 quid. That's it. No more.
Yeah. In the UK, 29, 30 quid. In America, for existing subscribers, I'll give it to you 50 to 60. If you're not an existing subscriber, 80. You know what I mean? And you will make a fucking ridiculous amount of money with that.
I reckon, like say, if you're talking about worldwide on DAZN, Wilder versus Joshua, not the amount of money, but the actual buys, I think it would do worldwide. It'll do 2 million buys.
Yeah, maybe more. Maybe.
Matter of fact, this reminds me of a fantasy card I saw on Twitter like a while back. They said, "Would you pay like $500 cash for this card?" It was like Tank versus Ryan, Spence versus Crawford, Usyk versus Fury.
Yeah, I remember that. They put all the fights that probably won't happen.
It's not happening.
I mean, but the point was, would you pay $500 for the car? I'm like, oh yeah, they got my $5. If this was
nah, you can suck my dick 500 like this.
I'll tell you what. It's the same way I approach Amazon, bro. I'll pay you in increments over a couple of months. Okay.
I'll Klarna, bro. I'll Klarna that shit.
I'll pay 100 though.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. 100.
I'll tell you what. If fucking Spence wasn't tied to the fucking PVC, and Crawford went with Eddie for one fight, Eddie could put that fight on in the UK with a really good UK undercard, do it as pay-per-view. He could sell it at the O2, and that would do 400K in the UK easy.
Mark, I've said that in the past. Like if Spence and Crawford were Brits, that fight sells in the UK. That's amazing.
Mate, because we know it's a good fight. We love that fucking fight.
The other thing is this, that with DAZN, they would actually have real logistics. This is why Adrian Broner said on the Porterway podcast that first and foremost, what those fighters at the PBC need is a real promoter. There's a reason that he said that. DAZN would cover the logistics, get the real price of the fight, then sell the fight. Because the PBC don't sell fights. Like, no, y'all don't promote right, bro. Y'all really don't. You sell like you think that just because you doing a fight that people just gonna fucking watch it. No, the fuck they not, bro. What the fuck? Damn near nobody. And it's sad because Martin versus Rivera was a great performance for Frank Martin. But only a little over 100,000 people seen that fight, bro. Nobody, bro.
Bro, imagine they put it on pay-per-view. Jesus Christ.
Fuck, man.
Bro,
Jules, I'll tell you what pisses me off. When anybody talks about the UK and they say, "Oh, boxing does really well in the UK because it's a massive sport," no, it's fucking not. It's like third or fourth or fifth. Fucking football, as you call soccer, is number one. Then we've got fucking rugby. We've got cricket. But we have got loyal boxing fans. You've got like 1 million at least loyal boxing fans that will buy everything and go to every single event. That's the difference. Loyal boxing fans who pay for everything.
I'm gonna tell you something else though. Frank is a real promoter. Frank Warren, he's a real promoter. Ben Shalom is a real promoter. How do you know? They get ahead of the story. They tell you about the fighters. They sit there and talk with you about the show and all of this stuff. And Al don't do that. Al is a mystery man. He's off in a closet somewhere jerking off. Like he's not like you're not selling fights, bro. Motherfuckers don't even know what you sound like.
But why the fuck doesn't why the fuck doesn't he get promoters that fucking can sell a fight for him? Because he's got working for him, Elevate and that other fucking clown.
He has listen. He has a series of small time promoters that are not big promoters, but like he's got Tom Brown and he's got Samson Lukowitz,
all those guys.
He's got Sean Gibbons and he's got Chino Maidana, but these guys, they not really getting out there and hitting the street and selling the shit. No, they not, bro. Like, they fucking not. Why the sold 77,000 pay-per-views, bro?
Jules, I would also add on to this. Like, this is just something I've been noticing about PBC cards exclusively. The quality of their, like, leading up to a fight. When you have those press conferences, when you have, like, those weigh-ins, they look so dingy. So fucking garbage.
Ghetto as fuck.
Yeah.
Bro, did you see the Tank Davis and Hector Garcia shit, bro? That looked like something I made in my high school play.
Bro, did you? I looked out at the crowd during Martin versus Rivera, and God bless the fighters, right? Because they put their unbeaten record.
Nothing against them.
Because it's not about them; it's about the PBC's ability to promote a show. And if you looked out at the crowd,
no one was there.
You could see it wasn't damn near nobody in there.
Nobody was there.
Bro, you know what gets me? This is why I have nothing against Tank Davis. I had a lot against his promoters and to an extent his fans. But when they always said, "Oh yeah, he sold out an arena," and then I see like half of the goddamn arena empty, I'm like, "What are you guys talking about?"
The top row was curtained off or some shit. It's like,
exactly.
Bro, like,
I was like, "Don't lie to me, man."
I mean, it's like you look at that, but then you look at the weigh-in for like Triple G Canelo. It's like Canelo was opening an amusement park or something.
Bro, and then they had the audacity to say that like the Triple G3 fight did not sell well, bro. They were empty. You could not get into that place.
The Zone made an official press release what the numbers were, and these mongoloids don't understand that if the Zone is telling you themselves we sold 1.1 million, believe it, because that's a press release. That's not a source. That's not a rumor. That's not Mike Copinger. That's not Mike Copinger with a big turtleneck. That's not Rick Glacier. They are telling you we sold 1.1 million.
Well, you got to
understand. And these mongoloids is like. Also, I just like to detract. Like, despite Bud telling everybody he got his purse, he got half of it right, and half the week.
They don't want to believe him.
Exactly. Thank you.
Now it's transitioned to AB. Now they're saying, yeah, AB didn't get paid nothing either. So it's like, bro, when you argue with a retard, you're gonna get dragged down to their level. For example, Hoover criminals telling me Al Heyman's a god because he got Andre to fight.
Right, no reason to talk to a motherfucker like that, bro.
Well, I don't understand
because one time I was arguing with a Spence fan, right? He was trying to say
that was your first mistake.
Exactly. Everybody, like, we all know Spence said that, like, oh, if Crawford gets a belt first, right, then we can make the fight happen. He said, oh, Spence didn't say that. Okay, so if Spence didn't say that, I'm assuming you know Spence personally. So either you're calling the writer who wrote that article a liar, or he told you that in person. Which is it?
Okay, I'll listen. Before I close it off, because I'm getting sleepy and I want to watch some HBO Max. There's no point in talking to them guys, bro.
It ain't. That's what I learned.
There's no point in talking or arguing with them guys. What I know is I stick to the facts, and that's what I talk about. And if a motherfucker don't want to talk to the facts, then I don't want to talk. We ain't got nothing to talk. I don't care about how you feel when you see Spence's nipples. I don't care.
Thank you.
Jules, can you explain this demographic to me? Like, when there's a massive fight in the UK, right, and it goes on sale, it sells out within like an hour or 2 hours. Why in the US does it like sell out a quarter of the arena and everyone waits till like the last day or two to buy tickets? Why is it not selling instantly?
The real reason that happens is because there's really only one fighter in America that draws fans. There's only one fighter in America that draws fans. That's Canelo. The rest of these guys, I'm really telling you, like, yo, there's not a lot of draws here. And what I see that's happening in America, And that's not happening in the UK. Believe it or not, Frank is a decent promoter, man. No, he is.
Yeah, you just know you get robbed if you box on this channel.
He probably will, but you know, Frank is a real Hall of Fame. Like this, that's not cap. That man is a Hall of Fame promoter.
Yeah.
Eddie Hearn is gonna go down, and he's gonna be a Hall of Fame promoter. Ben, he's doing what he do, and I see. Look, I don't know if he's gonna go on to be as good as Eddie or Frank, but he's getting in front of the stories. He's talking about the stories. He wanted Lawrence Okolie. He got Lawrence Okolie. He wanted Natasha Jonas, Savannah Marshall, all of them. He's got a nice cruiserweight scene that they're building, right? That's real promoter shit that he's doing.
Jules, I've got to show something out. I don't like Frank Warner. I never have done, but I've got a close friend who's an ex-boxer, and you know who it is. I'm not going to say his name because I don't want to, say anything, but he got paid on time every time, his whole career. He never left him. He's been retired for 7 years. And whenever there's a big fight on, Frank rings him and gives him 10 fucking tickets front row. And he gives me one, and he gives another friend of mine one. He gives him 10 tickets front row every fucking big fight. He's done that for the last 7 years.
I'm just telling you, like for example, how do I know that Frank is a real one, right? If you would have went back 3 years ago, before Frank really procured Fury and things took off with him, right? Queensberry was in a bad way. But now you got Joe Joyce, you got Dennis McCann, I think he has Archie Sharp. I think that's one of his fighters. You have Tyson Fury. He's got a couple of guys over there, and he's got some things going on over there. And more importantly, he has a good network relationship with Bob. So he's still making fights happen. In other words, he pulled himself out of the rut that he was in a couple of years ago, because a couple of years ago it was looking bad.
He was in the shit. When he was with Box Nation, he was in the fucking debt. He was fucking...
Exactly. Like, he was fucked, bro. But he pulled himself out of that. Whereas with the PBC is progressively worse, bro. Like, it's just worse.
It's getting worse year by year.
So I will
worse and worse.
Look, I will say this, Jules. This is just one thing that I find funny. It's in no other promotion, be it as dingy as Triller, Probellum, however you want to say it, whatever. At least they get paid. The fighters get paid the amount that they get after they've boxed. At least they don't do $1 a month increments.
For real.
That's the damn bare minimum. At least with Frank Warren, you may get robbed on this show, but you'll at least get paid for fighting on it.
Yes.
Now, on that note, gentlemen, I am going to sleep. I will catch y'all on the next one.
Wait, Jules, could I get a quick prediction before you go?
About what?
No, just kidding. Is Ben Davison a good trainer?
If you don't leave me alone.
Only matched by Ronnie Shields.